Man, this is all just one big yank. It seems like more and more people are.
What happened to that shit? That shit ain't playing?
Video fell off.
Yeah, bring it back in. I don't know if it was on mute or what. Oh, I think it was on mute. Fuck it.
Recognize it. I think the mainstream media.
Oh, please fake it with me because I get so depressed that nobody gets it.
Everybody else is still in this IHOP, or a lot of people.
How would we break it?
I don't know how you unravel an orthodoxy because information doesn't do it. People are totally impervious to facts. A friend of mine who's a psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist. We struggle streaming today. Bandwidth bedlam. You know what I mean? So in between these pendulums, we want to reach in and say, Ashe, peace and benedictions. Right hand raised for power. You know what I mean? My brothers is he in the wheel. He probably going under a tunnel or some shit. You know what I mean? So
doing that, and you don't fight them on it.
So I guess he'll pick back up, when he gets situated. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of bullshit out here today, man. You know what I mean? He coming back in. So we're gonna see if he can play that video for us again. That was
that
was gonna be our intro. You know what I'm saying? What's up with you, brother? Bandwidth bedlam. You know what I mean? Well, let's get the logo up there. You know what I mean? Struggle streaming, All right, so where we at with it, man? Let's see where we at with it. All right, so we're going to do it like this.
Between the coming of the One and the end of the war.
Is it over?
Neo's presence within the Matrix sparked a new exodus of potentials.
Freeze it.
But because they were unable to stop Neo, the machines turned their attention to those within their grasp. Sentinels set a trap for one of our ships, and from the ship's mainframe, they extracted a list of potentials. The agents leveled their wrath on the helpless, and Neo was the only one who could stand against them.
You know that this don't make no kind of sense. Scared of pain, so you fear hurt. I don't celebrate till the body's near dirt. Go to hell, they gon' tell you I was there first. Every opponent would tell you I was there worse. Having bad hunger pains and severe thirst. Have your earth in all black in the rear hearse. Too sticky to let the drama slide. And the sight of the blood will leave you traumatized. I can't do no wrong, least in my mama eyes. I got a gun in the truck, that's little mama size. That boy died from vehicular homicide. The voice, the flow, and the way that he harmonized. Those that's real see the truth beyond the lies. In real life, I'm living proof we on the rise. Yeah, I was too smart to play with the dummies. Rather you kill yourself, save me the money. From the bottom, I don't mind if you pay me in 20s. They pop a lot of shit, but soon as you see them, they mummies. Ha ha ha, you guys is funny. We fresh to death, they alive and bummy. Plug told me 3 words, supply the country. I told him that the bullets and the 45s is chunky. That's why they say you can never get too comfy. Trips out of town, my lump sums come monthly. Might as well all team up and come jump me. This is uneven, I'm the only one breathing. Everybody get their turn, it's sun season. I'm only here for that paper, one reason. Nobody cares though, everybody's a weirdo. Dudes watching your back, tell me who watching theirs though. All you gonna see is the fire from out the air hole. Stick up kids get the desire to hit your earlobes. Left lane, all you hear is my gears, yo. Crown been in my closet for a couple of years, yo. Okay, enough with the foolery and the costume jewelry. It ain't much you can do to me. The art of war ain't new to me. Little nigga, you better Google me. The city was mine after they said Big's eulogy. Oh man. Jadakiss season. The massacre. Telling you, I don't know if I can guarantee your safety next week. Jadakiss season. T5DOA. Don't ever forget that.
Man, get in here, man. Yeah, man, the SOS having. You know what I mean?
What's going on?
Press with the SOS having press pass wielding charlatan swatting ninjas is in the building. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, it's these people online, man. Y'all people online is ridiculous, man. Like, y'all really ridiculous. What's wrong with people out here, man? It's mass formation psychosis out here. You know what I mean? Like you know, like football season is coming up. You know, and this is around the time where friends can't be around each other, you know, because, you know, they get to beefing about their team and shit. And they always be talking about my team this and my team that, right? And it's like in reality, like, nigga, this ain't motherfucking team. You just saying that euphemistically. You know what I'm saying? You know, you ain't even allowed in the locker room. You know, you ain't got nothing to do with what's going on with who's running the show with your team. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing is for these people who say my country this, my country that. We did this, we did that. Nigga, you're not allowed on the premises, let alone in the situation room. Fuck you, y'all talking about this your country. You know what I'm saying? You got jacked. You know, all of these motherfuckers that's talking like, yeah, this and that. You got jacked. So why you ain't trying to get your shit back? You act as if you know you and the leaders is in lockstep. Maybe y'all are. You know, shit. Maybe y'all motherfuckers work for these motherfuckers on the low, and they send y'all to social media to talk this bullshit. Maybe that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know, through the band with Bedlam, we reached through the pendulum to say Ashe, peace and benedictions. You know what I'm saying? So let me go down here and pick up where we left off at. You know, basically.
Right. I can add the I'm gonna play that video right now. Hear my music, dogs.
Yeah, get that. Let's get that in the room. You finally touched down. You might have some better signal now. I see you pixelating. You know what I mean?
big yank.
Why am
It
I
seems
thinking
like
of
more and
Hangover?
more people are getting hip to that it's not two parties and it's not of biting. They do is to protect themselves from any sort
He gotta get his motherfucking his bandwidth uh in better condition. You know what I mean? Bandwidth
Totally
faster.
impervious to facts. A friend of mine is a psychiatrist. I said to them, how do you persuade somebody who is completely subsumed in that kind of religious
Oh, that John frozen. All right. Yeah, that John frozen. I can't do nothing with it because I ain't put this in the room. Oh, all right. Well, I didn't do that either. You know what I mean? I ain't kick nobody out. You know, I don't do shit like that. You know, you be getting on other people like live streams, and they have you come on StreamYard, and they be wanting to cut your microphone off and all that. We don't do none of that shit here. You know what I mean? You know, Sunday morning, I'm just getting up. Rough night. You know what I mean?
Wow, they got
Crazy
a
that Kamala showed
struggle
up
streaming.
to Chicago with a literal Planned Parenthood
Yeah.
bus. If that's not a walk-in altar, I don't know what is. And the thing that gets me every time is the fact that every time it comes down to the Democratic vote, it's always some BS. We never get real answers. We never get real explanations. We never get a real master plan. We don't get anything but what they think appeals to black people, and y'all fall for it every time. Having a Planned Parenthood abortion bus outside of a supposed speech for Kamala and the Democratic Party is absolutely demonic. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but what I am telling you is that this election is probably one of the most important elections that we've had in a few decades. Y'all need to start doing y'all research, and also y'all need to take the scales off of your eyes, because that is absolutely malicious. That is absolutely demonic, and it's an agenda. I heard that it was about 3 women to 1 man every 10 minutes of a ratio coming through the bus. The fact that you didn't need a physical, you didn't need a checkup, they barely looked at you, they barely knew you. The fact that you had that access that easily, that is truly like that. The Democratic Party thinks that black people are a joke. And notice that they had it in almost the hood. Like,
Yeah.
come on now. I hate to be that person, but can we please wake up? If y'all don't do anything this election, please get out there and vote. Period. I told y'all it's the end times, and the devil's not hiding anymore. So why should we? I'm not about to sit around here and play Christian cookie cutter because I'm making somebody from the enemy side mad. I don't care. We in the end times, because there's no reason that should be out there. So as y'all vote, please, y'all vote. Okay? But also put your trust in the Lord, because he is the ultimate ruler of this world. As always, I love y'all. Mwah.
Now, aside from her being easy on the eyes, you know, this this is in direct correlation to the video that my man Pope was trying to play, where we was basically talking about the mass formation psychosis, you know, that people are entrenched in, you know what I'm saying, in all different forms, you know, whether it be politics, you know, in this case politics and religion, you know, and whatever, you know, like how we were saying about sports and shit like that. Like, you know, people were so immersed in this belief that this illusion of inclusion that they really like feel like they don't need to do anything for themselves. It's like, no, this person got it, this entity got it under control, or this party got it under control, or that person got it under control. And every damn near everywhere in life we delegate, you know, our responsibilities to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird because, you know, people talk about dependence, you know, or being independent as opposed to being a dependent, right? But, you know, in all actuality, you know, you are in dependence, right? You are in dependency. You are in the state of dependency. You know, so when they, you know, now these people use word magic all the time. So I would not be surprised if that's really what the jargon is there. You know what I'm saying? That you're not independent, right? You're independence. You know what I mean? You know, so just like RFK and Roseanne was trying to say, right? that kind of rhymed a little bit. You know, they were saying that, you know, it's almost impossible to break this hold on people, you know, and this is, you know, it's Sunday, so you know a lot of people is out here, you know, peacocking for the Lord. You know, they're going out, you know, getting dressed up, going suited and booted, you know, just like tradition, hint, hint, you know, but it's like almost like no matter what happens, like nothing is shaking that, you know, that faith, you know, which is, you know, in some respects, you know, kind of impressive, but at the same time, like, you know, when it comes to, you know, irrefutable facts and the truth, and, you know, we look truth in the face and turn the other way, that's when you're in a dangerous place. You know what I'm saying? That's a very dangerous place to be in. You know, it's like that's like being in a room filled with gas, right? Explosive gas, and somebody telling you like, yo, don't light that cigarette in here. And you believe that you can light the cigarette in the room with all the damn gas. That you can believe whatever you want to believe, but that don't mean it's true. And you go to light that damn cigarette and blow up every damn body in yourself, you know. And let's say everybody else died. Like, to make it even a more of a life lesson, right? Let's say everybody else died except for you. Like somehow you made it through, and you realize that you'd have got all these people killed because your belief system was fucked up, right? That's a tough pill to swallow, you know. What you say, cuz? You said something?
No, no, no. I was just letting the dogs calm down and stuff like that because I just got over here in my sister's house. So I
Oh,
was trying to, you know, keep it on mute.
I saw you moving
For
around. I
sure.
thought you was trying to get my attention, and I thought you said something.
Oh, nah, nah. Yeah, I'm going off what you're speaking on. You got it right.
Right,
For
yeah, but
sure.
look, I didn't get to see that whole video clip, but was I
Yeah,
right
see,
about that?
yeah, see the whole thing is they really got into you know, the discussion about the fact that, you know, the how hard it is. They actually laid out a plan on how to we got to play the video again. I'm gonna put it on mute. I'm not moving around so the reception to stay there, because at the end they give techniques on how to reach people, how to reach our people that's not listening and not hearing this. And that right there is you know, that's the main thing. Look, let me drop this thing. We gotta play it one more time, and it's for a good reason, and we'll
Right.
see
No,
that
it
part
always
right now.
is.
Right. Let's see.
Big yank. It seems like more and more people are getting hip to that it's not two parties and it's not of, by, and for the people in any way. It's just corporate self-interest, and everything they do is to protect themselves from any sort of judgment or any kind of responsibility or accountability.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I think I'm not as optimistic about how many Americans are recognize it. I think the mainstream media,
Oh,
a lot
please fake it with me, because I get so depressed that nobody gets it.
of everybody else is still in this IHOP, or a lot of people.
How would we break it?
I don't know how you unravel an orthodoxy because information doesn't do it. People are totally impervious to facts. A friend of mine who's a psychiatrist, I said to them, how do you persuade somebody who is completely subsumed in that kind of religious-like belief system?
Yeah.
Because if you challenge somebody on their religion, it just makes them dig in.
Yeah.
And he said that's a feature of every orthodoxy, that it's impervious to facts. It's impervious to any kind of external stimulus. And that he said the only way that you can do it is through the Socratic method of you don't fight back. You just ask questions. And as long as you keep doing that and you don't fight them on it, but just say, is this what you expected the benefit to be from it? And is that working for you? And to do it in a way that's gentle and non-confrontational so that people maybe are stimulated to begin asking questions on their own.
Now, that's one of the most effective ways, to get at people is that, a lot of people, they want to, they love to argue. Some people just argue just to argue. There is no meeting of the minds, really. That's why you see like a lot of people online, as soon as they see something that's adverse to the way they think, they just attack it. And they attack whoever's saying it, right? And it's not that. Well, it's more so that they just attack who's saying it. They don't. 9 times out of 10, they don't even, attacking what somebody said is secondary. Their main objective is to attack the person that said it. And that violates the one of the laws that that we live by is don't shoot the messenger. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times people they literally only argue just to argue. They like to argue and insult people and talk shit, right? So a lot of times when you just ask them questions, right, and you create an environment
Right, but
to promote discernment and critical thinking, right? A lot of that rah, you this and that, that should fade to the back. You know what I'm saying? Like ninjas hairlines, like but 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 seriously though, like it's better to just ask people questions sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because people will argue you down, right? And there is no recourse with that. There is no conclusion. You know what I'm saying? It's just bullshit. It's just bullshit argument. You know what I mean? And it's like, damn, well, why can't we have an intelligent conversation? Why can't we look at this together? A lot of that hurts people's hearts. It hurt their feelings and shit. So with that, it's better to just plant the seed. And the seed is just asking questions, you know, and like you said, non-invasive, just asking questions. But in regards to that dude, I'm I'm pretty sure Roseanne don't like him right now. You know what I mean? Because he endorsed Trump and shit. You know what I mean? But it's crazy because I kind of think that like, not that I care or anything, right? But I do kind of think that RFK would have made a better running mate for Trump. You know what I'm saying? You know, just looking at that whole ambiance over there, that would be a better running mate for him. You know what I'm saying? But in the context of the political strategy, they couldn't do that because it would be like, they could just run and say, yeah, these two old men, right? We need to move past that era. These two old white men, want to run the country or this and that. So I can see, based around the political strategy that they picked the dude JD Vance. But I think JD Vance, I wouldn't be surprised if they switch him out. You know what I'm saying? Because, just in my own opinion, again, not that I care, but I was looking like, damn, I thought he was going I thought he was gonna pick like a black woman himself, like a real black woman, or maybe he picked somebody who's Indian. You know what I'm saying? Like the boy who spoke at the convention, the Indian dude. A lot of people like him. You know what I'm saying? So just on a side note, even when we point out these things about Kamala, what is it, Kamala Harris? You know what I mean? I don't want to fuck her name up. You know, um, it's not that we have anything against Indian people. You know what I'm saying? I do want to say that. It's like it's not nobody's saying like, oh yeah, fuck India or fuck Indian people or fuck Hinduism or nobody's saying anything like that. So I do want to give a disclaimer about that on behalf of on people who just speaking on truth, right? Standing on facts, right? Or standing on business as they say. You know what I'm saying? So this is not some like anti-India type shit. We ain't got no problem with nobody who don't got a problem with us. But if y'all do got a problem with us, then you already know what it is. Then you know what I'm saying. But I'm pretty sure somebody would be like hitting me up in the comment like, we ain't got no friends, right? Because that's what it looks like. A lot of people out there, subscribe to that anti-Africanism. You know what I'm saying? So, sadly, even our own brothers and sisters, you know, that look uncannily like Africans. That's strange. But either way, we know that this toxic way of thinking has been programmed on people in all different areas of life. You know what I'm saying? Even the way that we talk, like the good like the brother Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to, because it's people that would like in this day and age, like, all right, we know certain information, right? I'm gonna just say this, certain information, and everybody ain't perfect, but in this day and age, there's a lot of people who didn't do nothing so quick and so fast to talk shit about people who actually did something. You know what I mean? So it doesn't mean that these people are saints. It doesn't mean they can't do no wrong, right? But when you talk about people who just sit on YouTube all day or sit on social media all day, they not even active. They just in the comments, just you know, typing hateful shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's the byproduct of this all shit all together is that this is a safe space for haters. Like people like to just write hateful things. Like it's one thing about like I was saying to a brother the other day. It's one thing about being like quality control for truth, you know, and sometimes you got to be a little abrasive. When people be abrasive with you, I would say. But even in that case, you don't really have to be. But you know what I mean. But the back and forth nonsense is just ridiculous between us. You know what I'm saying? And all these things that divide us, politics, religion, sports, or rap beef, you know, being adverse on certain topics, identity, all of this shit. Like, isn't it ironic that we have all this back and forth argument about whether brothers and sisters are African or indigenous or Indian or Native American and all of this, right? And we got a woman running for president, an Indian woman running for president, right? And of course, that's a different India, but whatever. An Indian woman running for president in cosplaying as a black woman. That's crazy, right? Because again, Jamaica is not a race, it's a place, and also to add to that, and money don't grow on trees, and apparently people don't either. So until you can show me an actual family tree that grows out the ground and it's sprouting people, then y'all can't be talking about who is indigenous or native to what land. You know what I'm saying? Because indigenous, right? Or aboriginal would just say, like, if you're absent, right? Or the AB prefix, but whatever. But indigenous basically means the first people to cultivate the land, the first people to go out and hunter gather, set up shop, and and be and create a civilization here. You know, so but everything has a start point and an end point, right? You know what I'm saying? So people didn't just sprout out the ground; they came from out of a vagina, and that vagina, or that was that person rather, was in a certain position on the planet. You know, so however creation started, right? Maybe it was some human trees back in the day. People be saying, these big giant tree stumps, was out there, right? But where the roots at? You know, because trees do have roots. You know what I'm saying? So when we be seeing, we got these people on TikTok and the social medias places, there's not archaeologists or whatever. They just some motherfuckers just on the block, right? Disrespecting nobody, but um, a lot of these things that we talk about, we ain't never even been there to really confirm it. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother can of worms. You know what I'm saying? But those mountainous trees, these big giant trees that they be telling you that the whole stump of the whole stump is a mountain, right? And they tell you that's a tree. Look, this is a tree. Okay. Well, where's the roots of the tree at then? Where the roots at? You know what I'm saying? Are the roots like the smaller mountains? I guess those are roots, right? All trees have roots, you know. So those roots got to go somewhere. A tree not just poking out the ground. So people have roots, a point of origin, right? So however things came to be, whether it's Adam and Eve or whatever creation story you want to go with, right? That place had a point of origin, an exact location where that happened at. You know what I'm saying? So, and then just to nip the tail in the bud with this is that I was watching. I'll never forget this scene I was watching from that Boston George movie. I forget Blow, right? That movie Blow with Boston George. And when he first got locked up, and they told him, they said, "Yo, you be in charge with drug trafficking." You know what I'm saying? And he was like, "Oh, so y'all want to lock me up for bringing a plant across an imaginary line?" And the next scene, them banging the gavel and sending him to jail. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't want to hit. That was too much. That was too real for them. You know what I'm saying? You fucking up the system and the way of things. You can't let these people think like this. You know what I'm saying? So they had to cancel that. They had to get him. They had to do. You know what I'm saying? Because that was too much like right. And in reference to this, we argue too much about imaginary lines on the ground, right? When you go to a different country and shit, the birds and the oceans and the grass and the trees don't start singing and saying welcome to Africa, or welcome to wherever you're going, right? You know what I'm saying? And all of these um land masses, right, have been named something else at some other point in time in the world. Like, for instance, just the word Asia. Asia means landmass. So that's the case. The whole planet is Asia. Everywhere is landmass is Asia, right? If you want to be technical or definitive, right? If you want to go off a definition, you know. So it's like, man, like all this other emphasis that we put on shit that's basically made up, is fucking ridiculous. And this is all the shit that separates us and helps us not to work together, right? You know what I'm saying? And people don't want to hear those realities, right? Like even like right now with the whole border situation, right? I'm like this on that shit. Like I get the problem. Don't get me wrong. I see the problem, but the problem is with the setup to begin with, right? Like, but we don't be wanting to talk about that. But it's a fucked up system that we're trying to maintain because we fear starting over, and it's just like if for people who grow their hair, and somebody the person who do your hair might say, well, you should cut your hair off and start over, right? And you like, damn, man, I ain't trying to do that. I don't want to go through that phase again and all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you just let the hair keep growing, let the system keep going. That's fucked up. They told you it's fucked up. It's fucked up, but you like, I'm gonna just play make believe and just make it seem like it's okay when it's not. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like how Lil Wayne is. You know what I mean? But you know, nothing's going to change from that. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing's going to change. It was only if anything, it's probably going to get worse. You know. So let's switch gears here. I thought Pope was coming back, but I don't know what's going on. All right, so I wanna put up this slide right here and just talk about some current events. Um, and then we'll transition into some video clips. But in reference to the video that I did play before I even talk about this, um, that was basically what I was saying, right? In the previous video was about how these people was doing rituals, or in the last couple videos, that the whole convention was ritualistic in nature. Pointing out the word relationship with democratic, like like demonic, like the sister was saying, right? And the fact that they had human sacrifice going on, out there. And it's like, if I'm not mistaken, it's either this weekend or maybe it already passed, or maybe it's coming up, the Burning Man festival. You know what I'm saying? Where they do a mock ritual sacrifice. And of course, I would recommend watching Wicker Man, both versions of them. You know what I'm saying? But all right, just to segue to this right here, you know, the putting this fear type of shit out in the media, like they've been telling us forever, all the time, and of course, people, NASA is not too trustworthy these days, right? You can say that. A lot of people don't fuck with NASA, right? But of course, they're not the only people in space right now. Now, they got some people actually stuck in space right now that won't be able to come home until like February, and they saying that the SpaceX program, they're gonna hitch a ride on that uh, rocket or whatever to get back home, right? This is what they're saying, right? And of course, I know people say, you know, a lot of different things about space and the validity of NASA, but obviously NASA and SpaceX are two different entities, right? So just with that should let you and again, I can't confirm or deny any of this, but it's more is when you look at the reality that is more people involved in space programs than just NASA. So yeah, NASA might be lying, right? But what about everybody else? And look, I'm not saying that everybody else doesn't have the propensity to lie alongside NASA. I'm not saying that whatsoever. What I'm saying is that we can't just investigate one and just assume that all of the rest of them is like that. Wouldn't that be prejudice? Oh, whatever. But okay. So what they saying here? Asteroid out of control headed for Earth, and with the trunk, when will the first chunk strike? Right. So this is the type of bullshit. Now look, I'm only saying it's bullshit, not because I'm saying it's not true. I'm not out there. You might have to get Kyle or somebody to go check the validity of that, you know. But but what I'm saying is bullshit because this is the type of shit, right? That these motherfuckers will have flies swirling around, right? Distracting them from what could be better or what should be better for you over here. You know, instead of coming up with solutions and working together, right? Solving our own problems, right? Practicing critical thought, using discernment, you know, looking at things with an investigative eye. That somebody, even in the science community, like because something like this won't hit, you know, a lot of people because they're not concerned or they don't look at stuff like this. But even in the science community, they will have, you know, people distracted with things of, in this case, no real importance. You know what I'm saying? Like, because real rap, if it's some real life asteroid coming here to fuck this planet up, it's going to happen. You know, unless they got the Iron Dome for the planet or some shit, or they can blow it out the sky with some type of bomb or some shit. You know, which would be more likely, right? If y'all got Iron Dome missiles where y'all can stop each other's missiles and shit and shoot missiles out the sky, then everybody in I don't know, a community earthly effort should be able to blow whatever asteroids coming out the sky at this shit. All of them, even if it break up, you know. So if it break up, then why couldn't they use all the defense capabilities that they have, right? All the military space, zoning in, heat seeking, all that kind of shit, right? To blow these motherfucking chunks back and make them and obliterate it. Why couldn't they do that? You know, just something to think about. You know. Now we get to hear with this bullshit here. Now this I'm saying is bullshit because it's not fucking real at all, right? Look at they say baffled by illusion of a pattern like you know what I'm saying? Now look, they're kind of telling you the truth right here. Optical illusion like pattern, right? Now, why is it an optical illusion? You know, I wanted to start with this picture right here before I play the fucking video because in this case, most people don't pay attention to detail. You see what I'm saying? So, all right, you have the sun right there in the middle, right? Or well, second to the first image, right, that we see that's supposed to be the sun. You know, we're gonna call those the so-called suns, right? So they're saying that these are 7 suns, you know. So just on a side note, this is being in though that this is Sunday, you know, the 7th day, right? You know, a lot of people have some problems with that, you know. They don't understand that mono means one, and you know, so the moon and mine would be associated with one. You know what I'm saying? So Monday being the first day, and the Earth and the 7 visible planets, right? That make up the days of the week, right? The Sunday, right, is the 7th day, right? For the sun. You know, like the SON and the SUN. So you go to church on Sunday, right? So the sun 7 is symbolic. You know what I'm saying? So it's a perfect reason why they would have 7 suns, or 6, the sun with 6 images, right? Coupled with it. Now, if you're paying attention to detail, like how we trying to get people to do, by now you should see the bullshit that I'm showing you. You know what I mean? Without me even addressing it. So now let's address it. Look at the images of the sun, right? These images of the sun. Because one thing is also is that when you're looking at shit like this, you know, somebody will say, I seen the sun in the sky, seven suns in the sky. Did you actually see that with your own eyes? No, you didn't. You saw a video of that. You saw a picture of that. So you got to be in this day and age of fuckery. You got to be real literal with people. What actually did you see? Did you see it with your own eyes, or did you watch it from your phone screen or from your television? Oh, okay. Well, then that puts an asterisk next to it. Then you know what I'm saying? And people have to realize and be within themselves, because they be the ones saying, "Yeah, I seen it." You seen pixelated images, literally, because you're looking at a device that deals with pixelation, and you ain't see that shit with your own eyes. That image didn't touch the back of your eyeballs. You see what I'm saying? So these images of the sun right here, they all got the same clouds in front of them also. Wow, what a coincidence. So the clouds, so the sun, so it was 7 suns, and the clouds just decided to mimic these suns also. Is that's what we going with? Y'all could have got a better image than that. You know what I'm saying? But see, maybe they like fucking with us to see if we actually paying attention. This is like who's actually, you know, seeing shit with their eyes, right? Who's paying attention to detail? I remember I was looking for my phone the other day, and it was sitting right in front of me, and I'm like, God damn it, what the fuck? I'm disgusted at myself. How I ain't see this shit sitting in front of me, right? And sometimes things can be hiding in plain sight. And that's why we got to look at things with a finer tune of detail. So, like, Pope, what do you see right here? I think you frozen a little bit. But I was just pointing out, I don't know, you just coming in. I'm just pointing out to the fuckery with this image right here. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to the video, because if somebody else say, well, you did that. Okay, right. Right. I did it, right? Look at this bullshit. That's bullshit, fam. You're not going to have the same clouds in front of them. You know what I'm saying? Even the faded ones, and you look closer, you see the same clouds in front of them. It's fuckery, man. But people who fast and loose with shit, you see some shit and you want to be the exclusive with it, like, I gotta post this, right? I'm gonna get followers and views off of this. Shame on you ninjas, man. You know what I mean? Oh shit. What up? All right, here we go. Fucked up a little bit. But this is bullshit. Let's play it again. See the clouds? Y'all see the clouds? And every speck that's on the goddamn, that's in front of the image of the cloud is on all the other images. You think you think you think the clouds just did that? That's fucking bullshit. It's because they literally cropped and pasted these images and put them in a goddamn video. Like, do y'all not know that they've been using AI to manipulate footage? What's the rule of thumb with technology? It's at least 30 years old, right? They give it to the public when they get on some new shit, and they like, yeah, well, what we gonna do with this shit? And we'll fucking sell it, pack it up and sell it. But the good shit is just like the auction, right? You go to the police auction, or the sheriff sale auction. All the fly shit they kept for themselves. Like the real fly shit, they kept for themselves. So even when you see some fly shit there, trust and believe that it's some other shit that's way more flyer than that they was like, oh, I got this. I got first dibs on this. I'm gonna get this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that with everything. everybody gonna take their cut off the top. So with this technology and shit, like y'all forget that this new technology that they just now selling you on your devices and apps and shit like that. They've been had this shit. You know, even with the movies, when you see shit in the movies and shit, the technology that the movies got, that shit don't match the shit that they got. It says somebody gonna say, well, who is they? Come on, man. Read the label. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with these ninjas, man? This shit is fuckery, man. This is fuckery. I'm gonna put this in the plum foolery file. You know what I'm saying? Now look at this shit right here. Outrageous California opens 300M home loan scheme for immigrants. What? So what about the people that's there? You know what I'm saying? Like, what about people who live in California? And that's what I'm saying about, I'm like this on this whole immigration shit, because it's like, all right, I get it. Like, we all live on Earth and we should be able to share Earth together. It's enough resources and enough land that everybody should be able to live comfortably. But our system is fucked up, right? But instead of fixing this system from the ground up, you know, a lot of us want to maintain how it is. And when somebody comes on and alters how it is, or changes what we've normalized, it's fucked up. And I'm not trying to say that this isn't fucked up. By all means, this is completely ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Because the way shit is set up, right? That people in that live in that state should be able to afford it, to afford a fucking home. So when you got a super bad homeless situation over there, right? And you got people living on the streets, blipping all crazy and doing shit to survive, right? They decide to come up with this bright idea that they're gonna give 300 million. They're gonna open up $300 million homes, or a home loan scheme for migrants. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that people shouldn't have no place to stay. Again, we should all be able to live comfortably on this earth, and they got ghost cities in certain places. Shit, when y'all got this migrant problem, how come China won't tell them to come to the ghost city and fill up the ghost city? Y'all ain't doing shit with it. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Like, it's like, so these problems are created by the shit that we've normalized, right? You know, for people to live comfortably, somebody else got to be fucked up. And when those two worlds start meshing together, people get angry. You know, now it's like, you think about these people, you think they're gonna turn that shit down? Look at that from their perspective. They coming from nothing, right? It don't matter what they did. A lot of them are products of their environment, just like people here. So, I'm not saying that these people are saints or that they cool and shit, you know what I'm saying? Or this is justified. I'm not saying that, But what I'm saying is that this environment creates these type of situations. You got honest working people, good people who work, don't do no crime or nothing, and they got to sleep on the street, and some of them they got jobs. And it's funny because I'm sitting behind my house right now, right? I like to do stream in my car because I don't smoke in the house, right? Some people like smoking in the house. I don't like smoking in the house, you know. So your clothes and your house smell like smoke. I mean, come on, it's just common sense. But to each his own. But people would say to me all the time, they'll say, you homeless, you live in your car. Are you a sadist? Are y'all sadists? Right? Like, all right, like, why would that be funny to somebody? If I was living in my car, then why wouldn't anybody try to help me get a home? Right? I'm not doing nothing bad to nobody. I ain't did nothing wrong to nobody. Right? So if I was homeless, how come somebody can't help me get a home? Right? But somebody who walk in the country, as they say, undocumented, right? and a lot of that does kind of make sense because, like, again, you don't like. All right, like I'm gonna give you this. A lot of people always they keep talking about crime, like the Republicans keep talking about crime and all the bad shit that this person did or what this person could have did. Everybody's focused on the crime aspect of these migrants coming in, right? But what about public health, right? I mean, y'all shut the world down over a virus. You see, and then you gave people, a software update to and told them that would protect them. And then you come out and say, well, not only don't it protect you, but it's actually could possibly hurt you. And that's one of the things that we said from the rip. How many times you seen them commercials where they say, "Did you take such and such and such and such? Well, you may be entitled to money." But in this case, you might. Are you even entitled to? I'm sorry. That's the question. You know, because they saying like, oh well, they just now saying right of April of this year, they saying that yeah these software updates that you got, they can they can cause a little coagulation. You know what I'm saying? They can cause a quagmire in your system, right? You know, go unravel that. you know, literally. You know what I'm saying? SD2 is coming out soon, if it's not out already. But make sure you go watch that Nintendo DS. It's not SD, sorry. That Nintendo DS Part 2. You know what I mean? All right, what else we got here? But this now we're gonna get in. Let me dig into this a little bit more. Because the crazy thing about this shit is that California, they they didn't at the convention, they passed on the vote. You know what I'm saying?
California, how do you cast your vote? Mr. Secretary, the great state of California passes at this time.
Dang.
California passes.
And he laughed. And he laughed about it too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess you couldn't say it with a stern face. That would have made him look like a bad guy, right? Look. We joyfully pass on this, because they like that word joy. You know what I mean? Right now that's the word of the month for these motherfuckers. Joy. You know what I mean? This shit is crazy, man. But think about it though. They did some shit that there's some type of shit that she's into, right? Because she said that she wanted health care for every citizen, whether they documented or not. And of course, those things cost money, just like them homes cost money, right? So for them to be, passing policy that's in lockstep with her ideals, you know, um, that shit is kind of crazy when you think about it. You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck was I looking for. Let me come back here. All right. Damn, I forgot what I was looking for. Oh yeah. All right, let me come back in this room. I forgot what I labeled this shit. I had to take a minute to label all my videos and shit. These little video clips, so I got them by name. You know what I mean? All right, so let me go here. I just didn't know what that was. This is it right here. Hold up. All right, so yeah, I got the clip right here. Here we go. This shit is crazy. This is absolutely. This is way past the point of ridiculous. This blatant shit in your face. You know?
Is offering $30,000 to new home buyers. Lauren, you cannot apply if you're an American citizen. What's with that?
Why would an American citizen apply for a taxpayer-funded program to get $30,000 for a new home? I mean, it's wild. The group is called Hacienda Community Development Corporation. They offer payment assistance in Oregon to DACA recipients, asylees, green card holders, basically any non-U.S. citizen.
Wow.
This is state-sponsored discrimination, Stuart. That's what it is. I mean, it's crazy. That's their goal. They want to open up housing and the American dream to non-U.S. citizens.
Okay, I guess that's the reason why that's why we have an open border, because eventually these folks will vote and vote Democrat because they're the people who let them in. That's what this is about.
Part of me wants to say crazy things happen in Oregon, but I think this will go far beyond Oregon. There is a critical shortage of houses across the United States, particularly in Oregon, and then they're giving $30K to non-taxpayers.
Yeah, which will raise the price of houses.
For everybody else.
Pathetic. All right, Lauren, thank you very much indeed.
Damn, shit. Talk about the Oregon Trail. This is the new Oregon Trail. This is the new Trail of Tears for motherfuckers, for ninjas, basically. You know what I'm saying? Because of course we know that this shit affects, these policies affect black people the most. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's the shit that they don't want to talk about. You know, or well, maybe sometimes they do want to talk about it, but think about it. That shit is happening from coast to coast. Oregon and California, if I'm not mistaken, you know, maybe that's not coast to coast. I don't know. Where's Oregon at on the map? You know what I mean? But nevertheless, Oregon is a different state, right? So you know, y'all can beat me up for that, whatever. You know what I mean? But it's a different state nonetheless. So this is happening in places, you know, in America. You know, and where's the next place they're gonna do this at? You know what I mean? You know, we know they're doing it in New York City, right? You know what I'm saying? So man. Oh, now see, look, you got me thinking now. Now I got to look and see. Where the fuck is this shit at? Hey, look, man. I be having a lot of shit in my mind, man. All right. Because I was thinking about, I knew that because I was thinking about Maine, right? So, where is Oregon at? Let's see where we at. Yeah, so, all right, California and Oregon is right above California. You know what I mean? So, you know, just to be on point, you know, because when I was thinking, when they said Oregon, I was thinking of Maine. Well, who knows? They're probably doing that shit over there anyway. But, you know what I mean? But it's still coast to coast because, you know, I'm not off point. I'm a little off point, but, you know, whatever. You know, it's still coast to coast because isn't New York in the East Coast? Okay. All right, then. Try to play me. You know what I mean? That's crazy, man. All right, let me get my next clip. I gotta go back to my slide, but I want to play this clip in regards to what I just said about how these policies, you know, hurt black people the most. You know, so sometimes they do want to talk about it, sometimes they don't. You know, so here in Philadelphia, you know, black people, you know, got their say. You know what I'm saying? So we want to roll that clip. You know what I mean?
It hit me hard. It's hitting me hard.
Who do you blame for it?
I blame the federal government at this point. If a working class mom who works as a paralegal cannot buy a $2 bell pepper because it's now $5, imagine a mother living on food stamps. Imagine a mother who's making minimum wage trying to feed children. They're killing us without killing us. If you understand that. They're killing us without telling us they're killing us. They're hurting people in ways that they can't help themselves. It's either feed my child or how about feed my children and I don't, but I have to go work.
And y'all, if y'all think this is funny, you a sadist. Like straight up. Like I told y'all, like a lot of people been programmed to laugh at the misfortunes of others. We get dressed and be talking about how we gonna kill these niggas, right? You've been programmed to think that people getting hit in the head with mallets and shot in the face is funny and shit, right? Beating up old people is funny, you know, all that kind of shit. You've been programmed to be sadistic. You know what I'm saying? That's the satanic principle. You know what I'm saying? Like again, I told y'all, a lot of y'all is de facto Satanists. You know what I mean? You know, but this is the real life situations for a lot of people all over the world. You know, and you see, even me just watching this, I heard like almost coming to tears. That shit is touching my soul. Like, damn. You know what I'm saying? And you got people out here, like I seen some dude on Facebook talking about he would give Holly Berry $3,000 to go on a date with him. And I'm like, first of all, $3,000 ain't no money to her. You know what I'm saying? But if you got $3,000 to go on a date with a 58-year-old woman, you know, I ain't throwing no insults today. A 58-year-old woman, right? Like then why can't you help less fortunate people? And it's a brother who said this, you know. So, you know, there's a lot of mismanagement with wealth, period, you know, all across the board. But what I really want to say is that damn, like we have in our communities, we have the ability to help each other. We spend a lot of money on bullshit, yo. But you know what I'm saying? Like when we delegate our responsibilities to somebody else, right? It's our responsibility to take care of our elders. It's our responsibility to take care of our children. It's our responsibility to protect where we live. And we delegate all of these responsibilities to somebody else. And usually those people don't have your best interests at heart. You know, so it's really fucked up to see people like on TV crying and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, like a lot of people, it's a lot of people out here that will find this shit funny. Or would move to try to critique this person. Oh well, you should have did this and you should have did that. Does that justify this? You know what I'm saying? Especially when y'all motherfuckers telling people to go out and vote. Because again, that's you delegating your responsibility to somebody else. Because you want people to vote for somebody that you believe is going to do something for you. Instead of you doing something for yourself and doing something for your family. What about that part? You know what I'm saying? Because no matter who you get in office, whether they're going to do something for you or not, that doesn't mean that your responsibilities as a human being and a representative of your family don't change. Or even if this is a stretch, a representative of your community. Because that shit should mean something to people outside of gang activity. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucked up where it's like you got people who destroy the community more proud of where they from than people who claim that they uplift the community, claim they doing good for the community. You got people out here that's out here virtue signaling. You don't even know where they from. And you come to find out, oh, they from Philly, or they from here, they from there. And then they don't even talk about where they from. Right? You don't even see them trying to do nothing in a city or their neighborhood trying to do something. Right? But they all in TV somewhere else doing something. Virtue signaling. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we have a lot of the capabilities to help each other in our communities. We just got to get that pipeline going, whether it's the pipeline of information or actually being able to pull up on people and get them the things they need. You know, one of the things that I'm doing is building an emergency rescue service. You know, that's a multi-pronged approach to the services that we need in our community. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk about that too much, but I'm just trying to get the knowledge and information out. You know what I mean? But anybody that's interested in doing something like that, let's link up. Well, shit, not anybody. No offense, but some ninjas is, yeah, they lofty. I would say that. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of loftiness out there that keeps us, stagnant in terms of doing what's right, trying to make a difference. We delegate our responsibilities to somebody else. Like, all right, like I want to play in response to that. Like, you got these people telling you to vote and shit, right? Now, I don't know what they was thinking with this, but they got this dude to try to check us about not being Democrats. It's fucking crazy. This world is really crazy, man. I tell you.
To all black men who left the Democratic Party for the MAGA Party, I'm going to offer you this one-time opportunity to come back. You can come back. You have until Sunday, 12 high noon. We'll take you back. We'll take you back. There's no more blue, no matter who. There's come on, the bang, bang. Come on, the bang, bang. Coach.
Yeah, I know he was smoking something. Again, I ain't trying to throw no insults, but he seems to be inebriated. You know what I mean? But this is not an insult. This is just facts right here. What I'm going to say. My response to this would be two live crew. If I had to summarize the 3 words, but I'm not going to summarize the 3 words. This is Mr. Pop That Pussy Doodoo Brown. The original freak off holder. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that got a lot of generations of black women turned out on some bullshit. Because you can't even say it's just one generation. They still play Uncle Luke's shit today. And even isn't that a creepy name to say, Uncle Luke? Like, that's crazy, man. Uncle Luke? As much as this dude subjugates women, how does he even get a title like Uncle? Uncle is a family member, right? It's like that's kind of creepy. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. But how can this dude even talk about politics? Like, he's one of the reasons why we have the parental advisory stickers on music, yo. What he did, he's not a musician. The shit that he did is not music. He subjugated women to a beat. You know what I'm saying? And the shit still get rotation today. Like, imagine him, like, speaking, like, they might as well have him at the fucking convention then. Why they ain't had Uncle Luke at the convention? You had Megan Thee Stallion. Oh, why? Because he's a man? And this is multi-assured subjugation now, so they rather have women subjugating themselves. Like, what is it? What's the political strategy with not having Luke speak at the rally? You have Migos, right? You might as well have Uncle Luke. He should be a part of the administration. Have Uncle Luke as the ambassador of foreign policy. You know what I'm saying? The Secretary of Defense or some shit. Uncle Luke. Shit, they doing the Dougie at the White House, right? That's all I'm doing the Dougie at. I don't got that clip, but I do somewhere, but I ain't labeled it. But y'all seen them doing the Dougie at the White House. So what the hell? These motherfuckers, we surrounded with entertainers and musicians, right? And the bread and circus is what runs the world now. You know what I'm saying? The bread and circus is more important than policy. Facts. Public health, safety. Just whatever these people say, right? And I wouldn't even be surprised if he didn't even really want to say this, right? He might have got paid to say this. But all right, but how many people look to Uncle Luke for guidance? Like, how many men look? Maybe women might look to Uncle Luke for guidance. But in a masculine aspect, whose uncle is Luke? You know what I'm saying? Pun intended. Like, seriously, who the fuck is calling on Luke for guidance? Maybe somebody in his immediate family, right? But who's really like, yo, let's see what Luke has to say about this. What political standing does he have? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, you giving somebody a countdown? Well, look, it's Sunday right now. What you gonna do? What you gonna do, Luke? Huh? What you gonna do? You gonna make a diss record? You know what I'm saying? What you gonna go get a whole bunch of? You gonna tell a bunch of women to not have sex with black men or something? I bet you that's coming next. They're gonna tell the sisters, if these niggas don't vote, then don't have sex with them, right? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? These people is crazy, man. But it's like, I understand people try and manipulate people. Like, I mean, y'all even try to use kids to manipulate people, right? Speaking of that, play this clip right here. I just got, actually, because this wasn't even a part of what I was going to play. But since I brought that up, I'll just play this shit right here.
You want to know more in your state? So they just found 257,000 votes. This happened last week. A judge ruled in Georgia that are missing from the 2020 election. This just came out. You're behind. So your source is Trust Me, bro? That's your source? The source. It's in your papers in Georgia. You need to read your news. You haven't given me any last name. You need to read your news. No, this is your Georgia news. This is your Georgia.
I'm dumbfounded of how a grown man, well, I don't know if he's a grown man, but a grown man like...
Let me just pause it right here. First of all, I can tell from the rip, this child's father is somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So this is like the Instagram style, social media style argument that people have. Cite your source, right? And they're not trying to hear nothing that you're saying. They want to hear where you got it from, so they can question the validity of where you got it from, right? Where'd you get this from? Oh, those people. Who are they? This is a child. This is a 14-year-old boy talking about something that a 13-year-old boy talking about something that happened 4 years ago. He was 9 years old then. How the fuck would he know anything about anything? People talking about, oh, he's smart. And I'm not trying to talk trash about no kid. I said I'm not insulting nobody, right? But we just looking at some critical issues here. You're asking this person. First of all, you're being very disrespectful as a child. But I put an asterisk next to that based upon who he's talking to, right? Hint, hint. But still, nevertheless, it's never cool to encourage these children to talk crazy to grown people, right? And then especially question their adulthood, because at the end of the day, this person has lived more years than you. And if children are approaching the world so lofty-headed, right, that they can talk to grown-ups, about life experiences, about things that they weren't even cognitively aware of, right? Like, all right, there's a lot of, like, whether you believe, see, and it's this thing about this difference about something, about knowing something and believing it. But whatever you believe is irrelevant. You can believe, oh, that this happened or this didn't happen, right? But there's still certain information that you have to factor in. You still got people challenging these votes today, yo. Like, all right, this dude did a whole cyber symposium, right, about the shit, and put up a lot of information that people have no answers for today, right? I know a woman who worked for the who worked for the tabulation vote shit, when you know, the people who sign people up to vote and shit. And she told me her own mouth. Maybe we can get her on here. I don't know if she want to speak on this, but she told me in her own mouth. She said that the people that represent the Democratic Party came to the polling site, and they took the information. They took the laptop or whatever, however they do the shit. They took that shit, and she said they never did that shit before. Now ask yourself, why would they do that? And then when they same shit, they say, oh, overnight, all of these votes came in for Biden, right? Now this is information that this person is completely rejecting, right? And this is wrong to teach children to carry on like this, because nowhere is this child practicing critical thought. And when you're a child, especially when you're this young, the part of your brain that deals with consequences and repercussions is yet to fully form. You know what I'm saying? So when a lot of times when a child is doing something, they're not aware of, they're not aware that they're doing something wrong, especially if they haven't been, raised right. You know what I'm saying? So if you raise a child to be argumentative, then they're going to be argumentative with everybody. You know what I'm saying? If they come from a home where people argue and they do stuff like this, or they're around an environment where people communicate like this, right? They normalize that behavior. Now if he actually was trying, and this is how we try to say about people who argue just to disagree, right? You had no intentions on trying to listen to this person. You're actually talking over somebody while they're talking to you, right? Which is disrespect. Whether you grown or a child or whatever, and somebody is doing that to you, that's disrespectful. If you're actually trying to hear the information what somebody's trying to say to you, you would be listening. You wouldn't be trying to talk. But the simple fact that you're talking while somebody else is talking, listen, two people can't talk at the same time. I can't tell you how many times I had to say that to people. But when somebody chooses to start talking while you're talking, not only wasn't they paying attention, but they felt like you should shut up and just listen to them, right? Where would a child learn this kind of behavior from? Think about it, right? You think he learned that from a man who practiced discernment and critical thinking? Think about it, yo. So again, I'm not throwing no insults here, but we're just pointing out the facts, right? We just pointing out the facts. You know what I mean? Because I'm definitely not gonna insult a child because they don't know no better. You know what I'm saying? This is, children are a reflection of their parents or whoever they're learning from. You know what I'm saying? So this. Let me just play the rest of this video.
Like Mike Lindell approaching in that way. I had a simple question of why he's questioning a completely legitimate election. He had no proof. He said there was an elected official that found voter fraud, and I said, okay, what's her name? He said the first name, but refused to give me a last name, when the last name of a public official, an elected official at that, should be out there if they want to get reelected even. So I'm confused as to why he had such a hard time figuring that out.
Right. Look, let's.
Now he's saying that, but that's the way to deflect away from what was actually said. You're talking about alleged fraudulent votes. Votes coming up out of nowhere. People challenging elections. Why is he not questioning? Okay, well, what actually happened? Can you give me some more intel on that? You know what I'm saying? This is no way to raise a child to be. You know what I'm saying? This child should be around men that are teaching this child to, number one, be respectful, but to also practice critical thought, how to think properly. You know what I'm saying? Do you realize that classes like critical thinking are not available to children or to the populace until they can pay for it? So there's a lot of people, like, they print this is not that far off, because they literally, this image right here is not that far off, because they print the news on a 6th grade reading level. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people operate like children. And this is why you can resonate with a child's argument. You know, when you really practice critical thinking and you really approach the world as an intellectual that takes academia seriously, right? And intel seriously, then you wouldn't carry on like that. You would know that that's no way to find out what you want to know. You know what I'm saying? So when you say this person has no proof, first of all, we talking about a clip. Now we don't do. We would have to get the whole footage of this conversation between these two people, right? But a lot of people draw their conclusion off of this, what, 10-20 second clip. This is completely ridiculous, right? And then he goes on. Now, let me just show you how far off this child has been misled. This is a form of child abuse, by the way. Oh man. Dude, we got some look, struggle streaming, technical difficulties. You know what I mean? Maybe they ain't like what I'm saying. All right, so let me bring it back in. I wasn't even going to do nothing on this right away, but fuck it. You know what I mean? All right, let's see. We can get this back in here.
You want to know more in your state? So they just found 257,000 votes. This happened last week. A judge ruled in Georgia that are missing from the 2020 election. This just came out. You're behind. You should.
So your source is trust me, bro. That's your source.
The source. It's in your papers in Georgia. You need to read your news.
You haven't given me any last name.
You need to read your news. No, this is your Georgia news. This is your Georgia.
I'm dumbfounded of how a grown man, well, I don't know if he's a grown man, but a grown man like Mike Lindell approaching in that way. I had a simple question of why he's questioning a completely legitimate election. He had no proof. He said there was an elected official that found voter fraud, and I said, okay, what's her name? He said the first name, but refused to give me a last name, when the last name of a public official, an elected official at that, should be out there if they want to get reelected even. So I'm confused as to why he had such a hard time figuring that out.
Right, look, let's put that to one side. You've become a bit of an online star, certainly for a 12-year-old. What made you get involved in all this for the Democrats?
Yeah, the Democratic Party has the best policy platform we have seen. It's the oldest party also. And I'll also just say that the policy platform, not only we get a 2-in-1 deal this election, we get to defeat Donald Trump, and we get a good policymaker in the White House. So that's why I'm in it.
Wow. So you see how far off, unfortunately, this child has been misled. Like I said, this is a form of child abuse. You know, because, all right. Now he can point out something that is factual. The Democratic Party is the older party, and that's less known to a lot of people. A lot of people assume that, this whole political environment has started as is, basically they think that it started with two parties. That's what a lot of people. If you ask, I'm telling you, if you ask a lot of people, if you go around and take a poll, a lot of people will believe that America started with two parties. They thought that was like, a balanced situation, and that made sense to a lot of people, even to myself, So, but yeah, what the young man says, we give credit where credit due. What the young man is saying is partly factual. Let's say that. So, now the thing is this: when you talk about policy, right? We are living under the policies that people are complaining about, as we already showed you, right? So maybe this child is unaware of these things. See, this child, a lot of times, like when we talk to children about finances and, they be wanting you to buy shit and you be like, look, you don't work nowhere. You don't pay no bills. The child don't know what it's like in reality. A lot of people keep their children in a bubble, right? So they don't face the real world until they get grown. You know what I'm saying? So when a child is telling you about policies that affect adults, right, that this child is never even talked to, right? How can this child sit up here and tell this person, and people would accept this as truth, right? when when um when when you leave out when you can leave out important key factors, right? Like what? All right, well, if the Democratic Party, first of all, we know that the whole better policies thing is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Because we are living in bad policy that's created by Democrats. You know what I'm saying? So, obviously, again, I reiterate, this child doesn't know that, or is not old enough to be able to deal with the magnitude or the totality of that. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not trying to disrespect nobody or nothing like that. So, all right, let me get back to that slide in a minute. All right, so oh no, yeah, I was pulling up a new slide. Okay, so yeah, so I wanted to pull up this new slide that I just made because again, I wasn't even prepared to talk about this actually because I was going to do this on another situation. Let me cut this mic off real quick. Hold up. All right, here we go. So now, so now here, I got this slide up here, right? Now, the Democratic Party, yes, is the older party, but why was the Republican Party created in the first place? That's the question. And again, I'm not a Republican, but we just dealing with the facts. You know what I'm saying? You know, what is now? Let's read this right here. Let me move my logo to the side. I mean the banner. Throw the logo up. See, my brain is thinking faster than my mouth sometimes. All right, here we go. All right, so it's kind of perfect. All right, so here, 19th century, right? All right, so let's now, the Democratic Party was formed in 1828, if I'm not mistaken. So years and years later, as you can see, the Republican Party was created, right? The Republican Party was founded in the northern United States by forces opposed to the expansion of slavery. You know what I'm saying? Ex-wingers, ex-free soilers. The Republican Party quickly became the principal opposition to the dominant Democratic Party and the briefly popular known Know Nothing Party. Wow, right? Who's the Know Nothing Party? You know what I mean? That's a good question. But I think the Know Nothing Party was amalgamated by the Democratic Party because a lot of people that's Democrats know nothing. You know what I'm saying? They know no thing. And this is one thing that most especially Black Democrats don't know is that the Republican Party was formed because these people didn't want to go along with slavery. Did the same slavery that they fought to keep. You know what I'm saying? They started the Civil War because they was not trying to let go of slavery. They even after slavery, they opposed every civil rights bill, right? The Democratic Party. And then they bewitched you. They bewitched you to get Black people to vote for them. This is why they tell Black people, you a sellout or you a traitor and you all this other shit because they think they own you. Because these motherfuckers are slavers. And so they talking to you like you are property. You supposed to vote with us. They convinced Black people to vote with the slave master. Facts. This is fucking crazy, yo. It's fucking crazy. And again, I'm not a Republican. I'm just showing you the facts, right? And all right, you see the policies, right? This is what the shit that they handed out in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? And you seen a lady from Philadelphia crying about these policies. You know what I'm saying? And like even like what I seen this video, right? Where these people was trying to they was trying to like clean up, this shit for Kamala Harris, and they like, they lying about her like locking up people and shit, right? And the thing is that One thing I always like to point out is that look at these people's faces when they being accused of shit, right? And also listen to their response. You know what I mean?
No excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Senator Harris.
My entire career, I have been personally opposed to the death penalty, and that has never changed. And I dare anybody who is in a position to make that decision, to face the people I have faced, to say, I will not seek the death penalty. That is my background. That is my work. I am proud of it. I think you can judge people by when they are under fire, and it's not about some fancy opinion on a stage, but when they're in the position to actually make a decision, what do they do? When I was in the position of having to decide whether or not to seek a death penalty on cases I prosecuted, I made a very difficult decision that was not popular to not seek the death penalty. History shows that, and I am proud of those decisions.
Senator Harris said she was proud of her record as a prosecutor. The few examples that I mentioned, I'm shocked.
Question: how many of y'all ordered a hit on people? A lot of y'all people that consider yourselves good people and you consider her a like-minded individual. Let me ask you this. How many of y'all ordered a hit on somebody? Of course, we know she got, people who rap about these things, but how many of those rappers have actually done the things that they rap about? That's a whole nother can of worms. But like, real serious question. How many of y'all have ordered hits on people? Because when somebody asking, yo, yay or nay on this death penalty, right? And basically they're asking you, do you want me to drop this person for you? And if you say, okay, yeah, do what you got to do, is that not ordering a hit on somebody? I guess exactly. When you're a politician, it's a difficult decision, right? A difficult lawful decision, right? But if you're a mobster or you're a monster, you know what I'm saying? That's some RICO law type shit, right? You order hits on people, Now and now see, like they went and got a black guy. They got two black guys to try to defend Kamala Harris on that subject, but y'all cut out her response though. You see, her response is like she was on some Samuel L. Jackson shit. Yeah, I did it, and I hope they burn in hell. You know what I'm saying? So of course, she talk more so about the death penalty type shit, but that's the crafty shit that she does. When they ask her about one thing, she'll talk about something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, so man, listen, y'all crafty for cut, because if y'all went back and dug up that part, then why didn't you play the whole clip? Just like somebody told that little boy that the Democratic Party is the older party. Well, how come y'all didn't tell that little boy that the Republican Party was created because Democrats wouldn't stop enslaving niggas, right? Or my fault, enslaving ninjas. I got a little passionate right there, my fault. But I don't know how you gonna tell black people to not to use a word that y'all used against us. Now me using the word that you used against us is a bad word, or I can't say it on YouTube. To hell with y'all. But look, I can go right now. Look, I challenge y'all to go watch All in the Family on YouTube right now. You can watch all kind of hard R videos, right? And speaking of that, the dude who made Crocs, side note, I was going to talk about this later on or whatever. I didn't have the footage yet, but allegedly they saying that the dude from Crocs, he's throwing a hard R around. You know what I'm saying? Now I seen people on social media. I seen a lot of responses. I didn't see the actual video, so I spare you that buffoonery. You know what I mean? But I've seen a lot of people saying, I'm burning my Crocs. I'm not wearing Crocs again. Now, that's all well and good, but the thing is that why do we even put ourselves in a position where we prefer white people clothes over black people clothes in the first place, right? We automatically opt out of buying brothers and sisters clothes, right? But every time it's revealed that one of these people is racist, y'all get mad and claim that you're not going to buy this shit no more. And I think a lot of y'all is just virtue signaling. You got two pairs of Crocs. You're going to burn one. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna burn one, and then the money that you get from your videos, you're gonna go buy 3 pair. You know? So it's like, well, and then it's like, all right, well, what other company is racist out there that you don't know that haven't been exposed yet, right? So how come we don't just move to the position to look for black products? You know, if you tired of these things happening, then just look for black products. You know what I'm saying? How about that? You know, I just had to, that just popped in my head real quick. But let me get back to this right here. You know, because again, there's a lot of craftiness with this shit here.
That she would be proud of throwing people in jail for marijuana violations, for minor marijuana violations. And then when she was asked about, oh, have you ever smoked marijuana, she laughed. She's ruined people's lives because of these decisions she's made. She refused to bring evidence, allow evidence to come forward that would take an innocent person off of death row. How can you be proud of that? She talks a lot about being a prosecutor president. This is not the kind of prosecutor that I would want leading our country. The fact is, when she was in a position to make change, she not only chose not to do so, she actually further harmed people in their lives. The fact that under her leadership, they kept people in prison longer than their terms of sentence, purely because they wanted cheap slave labor. Think about how terrible that is, the lives that were impacted, the families that were left behind, the children who were left behind, even after someone served their time. It's absolutely unacceptable, and she needs to be held accountable.
That's the part. These are the parts of that video that y'all forgot to put in there when y'all tried to gaslight us and show us some skewed numbers trying to say she only locked up 45 people. But this is the thing. When you're the attorney, and this is when we talk about lack of leadership. When you are the attorney general, right? You are the general of the attorneys. You are the general of the district attorneys. You know what I'm saying? How does that not make sense? You know, so when these people try to say, oh well, it wasn't her that did it, it was those crooked district attorneys under her. She signed off on it. Just like you signed off on withholding evidence from people so y'all could get death penalties off. You know what I'm saying? You know, now I want to double back a little bit. You know, when you talk about the housing crisis shit, you know, this shit and that shit is about money. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing that a lot of people is overlooking is that debt is money. Debt is wealth. You know, so when you can put somebody in debt, you can create wealth. You know, so just like they did with the 2008 shit, they gave loans to people that couldn't afford to pay the shit. So when you give houses to immigrants and shit, right, and getting them set up for vouchers and shit like that, right, before they even got, you know, an actual job, what are they doing? They getting these people into a mortgage. What is a mortgage? It's a death deal. You know what I'm saying? So they getting these people in debt before they can even get situated. You know, so it's a lot of listen, these people want to get theirs on the back end. You know what I'm saying? What part of that y'all don't understand? So, you know, and just like with that scheme, that's an outrage, right? This right here is an outrage, but it's all about money. So if they can get more jail time, like how she said about people, you know, that's free labor, you know, free whatever. You know what I'm saying? They're getting like 30,000 off of people just sitting occupying a cell. You know, if they can do a death penalty, that's probably like getting to the playoffs. You can get a bonus for that shit, you know? You know what I mean? So it's all about money at the end of the day, man. You know what I'm saying? And these people don't give a fuck about your feelings. You know? They don't care how you feel about it. They will manipulate you like consider this. These people allegedly, right? Allegedly, these people do all kind of nefarious things behind closed doors, right? So if they doing all kind of reprehensible things behind closed doors, right? Allegedly, if that's the case, then you think that lying to you is something difficult to do? You think that's difficult for them to do? They have done far. If these allegations are true, they have done far more worse things to get in the position to lie to you. So lying to you is nothing. They don't give a fuck about that. And that's the thing that we that a lot of us will never comprehend, because we believe the shadow puppets. We believe the illusion, right? We're not looking at this situation like and realizing the matrix that we in, right? You know, that's the reality of it. You don't understand that it's all kind of shadow puppets and agents all around you to help you to stay in La La Land. You know, these people work for La La Land employees. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality. You know, but in this surface story, you know, that people was caught up in, they believe, you know, and they just stuck right there. And we trying to get you to realize, like, yo, this is a facade. All this shit is an illusion. At the end of the day, all of this shit is purposely done. Everybody knows, even this lady knows, she knows why it's done. But she trying to get a job. So she gonna virtue signal just like the rest of them, but all of them know how it was done. You know what I'm saying? They know what's required. You serious? Come on, man. But these are the parts of the clip that they don't want to show you.
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response.
As the elected Attorney General of California, I did the work.
Right. See, that's the part they didn't want to show you, but we showed you that already. Now, a lot of people have an issue with no cash bail, you know, all that kind of shit. But all right, consider this. Let's put some things in proper context. When you get arrested, right? When you get arrested, you have been abducted, and when you got to pay bail, that's a ransom. Somebody wants you to pay a ransom, and not everybody can afford a ransom. Now, some people, I'm with you. Listen, look, before you start tripping, I'm with you. Some people don't deserve to get cash bail, right? So based upon the nature of the crime, right, and the repeat offenses, right, then that should set whatever your bail would be, right? Or if you even get bail at all, you know, because shit, a lot of people know about the dipsy. You know, they put that dipsy on you, that's the wrap. It don't matter what you got, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and for people that, you know, that don't know what that is, that's not a criminal thing. It's a detainer. And I mean, well, it is, you know, it's not an act of crime. Well, maybe for them it might be, but not for us. So, you know, a detainer is, you know, usually when you violate, you know, or some type of arrangement or agreement that you had, right? A repeat offender, probation, something like that. And you can't pay bail, right? So there's a lot of that too. Like a lot of people think that, you know, regardless of the crime, you can just go pay bail and walk out. No. Some people is on papers. Some people are repeat offenders, 2-time, 3-time losers, shit like that. Like they get locked up as a wrap. You know what I'm saying? And you know, shit, man. Even just talking about that shit is spooky, man. It's like, you know, but seriously, like, you know, that's a very delicate situation. So a lot of people look at this thing as something like it can be easily blanketed, like, oh, it's right or wrong. It's a meticulous situation that is basically unique to every person. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that you can create that's uniform for everybody who gets arrested, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? Because of the reality that some people are wrongfully arrested, some people are arrested for things they shouldn't be. And some bails associated to the crime are completely outrageous. You know what I'm saying? So it should be like, you know, if it's not a violent crime or, you know, something like where you keep doing something crazy or whatever, yeah, you shouldn't have to pay a cash bail. Maybe you should be able to set up some type of payment arrangement or something. But then that should also be set up with, you know, some guidelines. Like if they think you a flight risk or some shit like that, then yeah, you shouldn't get that. You know what I'm saying? Based on the nature of the crime. But that's a whole nother topic that deserves a video in all of to itself, honestly. You know what I'm saying? So it's not something that you can just say yay or nay to. You really got to have a discussion about it. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy. So let me play this other clip. Let me see what this
significantly reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people, which became a national model for the work that needs to be done. And I am proud of that work. And I am proud of making a decision to not just give fancy speeches or be in a legislative body and give speeches on the floor, but actually doing the work of being in the position to use the power that I had to reform a system that is badly in need of reform. That is why we created initiatives that were about re-entering former offenders and getting them counseling. It is why, and because I know that criminal justice system is so broken, that I am an advocate for what we need to do to not only decriminalize, but legalize marijuana in the United States.
I want to bring Congresswoman Gabbard back in. Your response.
The bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you are in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who are on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to.
But isn't that the argument now? Look at California now. It's fucked up. It's the reason why California passed on voting for her, right? Because she fucked up shit over there. So when you talk about you did the work necessary to reform or something, well, maybe maybe the form that you wanted is not good for California, obviously. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing that it just is the irony. That the same thing that people were saying then, they're saying now. You are in a position where you can do something right now, right? And you telling people, you trying to give people a sales pitch of what you're going to do when you get elected. You're in a position that you can do something right now, right? And we probably should have named the video this shit. You could do something right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the name. That's the official name of this shit. You could do something right now. You know. And it's like, man, everybody's asking you the same question. You know, well, why are you saying these things when you could do something right now? You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. I'm a fucking devil.
Basically the same thing, right? In so many words. And I asked her, like, as the vice president, why they don't let her talk when, you know, Biden seems like he needed someone to speak up for him. I thought that's what the role of the vice president was to help the president. And basically, she kind of let me know that her hands was tied, that they didn't really allow her to be a voice like that in that. Tonight, I don't know if she's gonna, you know, I want to see how she.
That's bullshit.
If she even touches on this, because if she doesn't touch on it, that's the question that I feel like the people that have mixed decisions about voting for her. This is one of the questions. This is the top question that they had. And like I said, this is what the Republicans are saying. You know, and they never heard the part about her hands being tied. And if she says something about her hands being tied, then it makes it look like the White House or the Democratic Party didn't really want her to exceed. So she can't really say her hands was tied, but she does have to step into that space. This is something I do believe.
Now, when he says that notice the difference. When he says that, you know, she can't say that, he's saying that she can't say that because that's not a good political strategy. You know what I'm saying? But we're saying that she can't say that because you are sitting in the situation room, right? You know your job is the last person out, right? You the last person out the room. So when decisions are being made about what's to be done, you supposed to be the one who's like, basically, all right, we is this a go or not? You should be pushing for the things that need to be done, overseeing the things and pointing out the imperfections or the corrections that need to be made, right? That's her job. So for her to say that her hands is tied is one of two things. Either your real job is to do nothing, or you're not being accountable for your actions, right? And what do we say about a lack of accountability? Lack of accountability is lack of leadership. Somebody who can't be responsible for themselves, or can't be responsible for others, rather, can't be a leader. You know what I'm saying? Like again, you when you see a team lose in the playoffs, right? Usually the coach, the job of the coach is on the line. Somebody in whether the defense coordinator, the assistant coach, somebody's job is on the line. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to find who fucked up, and we need to remove that problem. But the thing is, the people who are less likely to get fired are the actual players, right? Because these people who are the coaches and administrative staff, they are responsible for the production of the players. You know what I'm saying? So if they don't perform right, some heads are going to roll, right? So for her to say, damn, oh, my hands is tied, is one of two things. Your job is to do nothing. You just a trophy wife type situation, or what they say, a DIY hire. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever that shit is. I don't know what it is. But you wanted those two things. You know what I'm saying? So, they had now this is Jermaine Dupri for people, if you didn't know who that was. This is the dude again, people who speaking on these things. It's crazy who the ensemble of people who they have speaking on these things, right? Because Jermaine Dupri is somebody who was accused of touching children, right? They saying that he did some shit to Crisscross, right? So, these are not the best people to be speaking on behalf of the Democratic Party. You know what I'm saying? So much so that your man Roland Martin was mad at him. Of course, a lot of people, they just going to attack him or whatever for saying something that need to be said, right? But Roland Martin was saying, like, brother, you should have hollered at me before you put this up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, so you could try to spin it. You know what I'm saying? So you can try to clean it up and make it look better than what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why would he have to talk to you about how he feels about something? He's a grown man. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of things that he probably shouldn't have been doing as a grown man. But that's not the point right here. Whether right or wrong, somebody that's grown is going to feel like they don't need to check in with somebody to do something, right? If you want to stay out late, you're not gonna call Roland Martin and be like, "Yo, is it cool if I break curfew?" He's a grown man, right? So again, whether his decisions are right or wrong, he is his choice to do that, right? And that's a reality, So how y'all gonna get mad at that man for speaking his mind, right? And just like the saying goes, even a broke clock is right twice a day. You know what I mean? So I went down the rabbit hole on this, and so let me come back up on the surface. Let me go back to my slide. So I wanted to cover some other shit too, right? So yeah, we went on that. We can't. So we're coming back up here. So now this is a message from Jane Ruby right here. Let's get this on the side right here. Shout out to Jane Ruby, and the people that's stepping up for truth, knowledge, and wisdom, right? So she's saying that people that got software installation shouldn't be fraternizing with the naturals. You know what I'm saying? I seen so this is some studies that they showing right here, about that jizz. People might have some so some beyond meat jizz, right? You know what I mean? They got some extra software up in there, right? So watch your body with that, right? You know what I'm saying? So I made a reference to this earlier in the stream, right? Pun intended, right? But not in a funny way, but in a serious way. That people are still being hanged in fucking 2024, right? And of course, we got all kind of shit going on. But look at the date, August 6th. Now, what was everybody doing on August 6th, right? On August 6th, everybody was up in arms about Kamala Harris, right? A cosplay black person, right? But we'll be telling you, they gaslighting people with stories on the news about black people. You know what I'm saying? They just bombarding you because they want you to be up in arms about, they want the racial tension to increase, right? So here come the stories about, not saying that it didn't actually happen, right? I don't know, I wasn't there. But here comes all the stories about all the racial tension that they want to bring up. You know what I'm saying? So you got this story right here. Now look at this situation, right? They saying this investigation underway at a body found at the Jefferson Davis Bridge, right? Notice the wording, right? Now look at this. Investigation has launched after a body was found in Jefferson Davis County early Tuesday morning. Sources told Super Talk Mississippi News that a body discovered, that of Dominic Stewart, a high school student of Jefferson Davis High School, although authorities with the sheriff's office were unable to confirm the identity of the body. Highlight that. Regarding the case, this article will be up to date with more information becomes available. Oh yeah, I see why y'all said that. So basically, with the information that they are claiming that they don't have, is that this young man was allegedly hanged from a bridge, right? So these are the facts that your old news skips, because you shouldn't be fucking with them ninjas no more. You know what I'm saying? People who literally had to pay for lying on companies and lying on people and coming up with all kind of fake bullshit, right? And shit, for all we know, this shit could be fake, because they saying that they couldn't confirm the identity of the body, right? You know what I'm saying? Well, he wasn't burned, right? So that's strange. But anyway, exactly. So the news is saying, well, TikToks and socials is saying, that this young man was lynched. You know what I'm saying? That he was hanged from the bridge, and you see the media trying to suppress this shit. They don't even want to talk about the actual findings. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, um, of course, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get a protest off of this, or some shit like that. You know what I mean? But a lot of these things you gotta have an investigative eye with, and try to leave your emotions at the door, because a lot of times what's happening with these particular things, whether they actually are actual events or not, they use these situations to gaslight you emotionally. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that they know about us is that we are highly emotional, hypersensitive, right? And whenever they want, they can gaslight us and psyop us into acting a fool. You know what I'm saying? So keep your integrity with this one. You know what I mean? Now what they saying about your homegirl. Because this is what all y'all was worried about. The whole time that story was being suppressed or yeah, whitewashed, right? So they saying now she been called a communist. Now they calling her a socialist, right? You know what I'm saying? Now these are the things that people are voting for because they don't really pay attention to detail. They playing identity politics. They getting you to vote for people for entertainment and cultural purposes, but not for policy. People not even looking at the policy. You're not even looking at the current policy. You never looked at that policy. You're living in it, but don't even realize that it's hurting you, right? Just like the sister said, they're killing you without killing you. You know what I'm saying? Look, they saying who is destroying democracy in darkness, right? Now there's a lot of ways that you could spin this right here, right? You know what I mean? Because we know how people play. You know what I mean? But lack of accountability is lack of leadership. You know what I'm saying? So when you're telling people that you're going to do something next go round that you could do right now, right? That's what's destroying the democracy, as they say, right? But nowhere in the Constitution do it say democracy. So that's what's kind of strange about that. You know what I mean? So where we at in this slide? Okay, so look at this here. Your man Fauci, right, or negative energy Sachi, he got the West Nile virus. You know what I mean? Now, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody trying to knock him out the box. Almost like when I heard this, I thought about the opening scene of Batman, right? Maybe they trying to get Dr. Pavel out of here, but remember that open scene in Batman where Joker did that crime, he did that bank heist, and everybody was told to knock off the next person. You know what I'm saying? To the point that he was the only person left. I wouldn't be surprised if that's how this situation is breaking down. After the deed is done, we don't need you no more. And now this dude is hospitalized left and right. You know what I'm saying? And he in his 80s right now, so I'm not just going to lean just on the nefarious possibilities, because he is a older person now. You know what I'm saying? And being as though that he's been vaccinated like 6 times, maybe his security detail is acting kind of like Trump's security detail. They don't know what to do inside of there. You know what I mean? So they just letting all kind of shit through. So maybe he probably the crazy question is this: maybe he wouldn't have got sick with the West Nile if his immune system was running better. But we would never know because you got 6 software updates. So you know what I mean? So man. But anyway, I know a lot of people probably mad about that, or you know what I mean. So your man Cornel West, right? They say he can't be on a Pennsylvania's presidential ballot. A court decides that. I wonder why. Why wouldn't they let Cornel West on the presidential ballot in Pennsylvania? Home to one of the heads of the triple K group, right? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, what a coincidence! I wouldn't be surprised what grievances that they had with that brother that made them say, you know what, he can't. Y'all, we don't even want people to vote for him in our state. But that's what's crazy anyway. The simple fact that people can say to you that like, but you got people that will tell you you can't vote for somebody who's running for president. How? How is that? How is that free? Then how is that free then? You know what I'm saying? Think about it. How is that free when you should be able to vote for who you want to, right? They're telling you that you can't vote for somebody. That's crazy. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, here we go. I wonder why. So
and there ain't no joke.
Right on. No black agenda.
No vote.
No black agenda.
No vote.
No black agenda.
No vote.
We are sick and tired of the games. And I tell you this, being somebody who travels the ghettos across America, if the Democrats think they have all of our votes, they got a sad thing coming.
Are you going to vote for Trump?
No, I would never.
Who are you going to vote for?
Barney the crackhead, leave me alone. You this Hawk. It's Hawk. Don't troll me.
I'm asking you a question. Cornell is my friend.
We would never vote for Donald Trump.
We are calling Kamala Harris to adopt some of these policies. Black Americans, we give away our vote for free at over 90%. And nothing is given back to us. Donald Trump is not enough for us to get
every voice and sing. Right on.
Malcolm lifted his voice. He wasn't an echo.
Come on.
You got too many echoes in the conventions.
Right on, right on.
Right.
Malcolm said, I will start with loving black people.
Come on.
I will start focusing on the plight of black people. And yes, we will be in solidarity with our Palestinian brothers
Absolutely.
and sisters. Of course we'll be in solidarity with our Haitian black brothers and sisters in the Congo, in Sudan, in Brazil. They could be Irish in Britain if they're being colonized. I stand with them. But you start on the chocolate side of town.
Right on.
Come on, brother. That's why this black agenda ain't no
black agenda, no vote. These parties are telling us to shut up and vote, and we can't stand for that.
That's right.
We have to stand here and say we demand reparations. We have to stand here and say we demand the end of the genocide in Palestine.
That's right.
We have to stand here and demand the end to the school to prison pipeline. We will not tolerate what America has been giving us for all these years.
And they told Malcolm, shut up.
Right on.
They told Malcolm, don't raise your voice in a critique of the two-party system.
Come on.
They told Malcolm, don't criticize American foreign policy given the vicious imperialist expansion in Africa, be it coordinated with Britain and Ghana and many other places. And what did Malcolm do? He followed the anthem of black people, which is lift every
for us to give away our vote for free. So Vice President Kamala Harris, since you went to a HBCU, fully fund a HBCU.
Word.
Since you care about black women, support maternal health to protect and value our lives. This is not a song and a dance. American lives are at stake.
Right.
People are standing on bread lines. What is she going to do when black people are living in poverty and the wealth gap is through the roof?
Come on.
She has the power to do that. And Kamala Harris needs to do the right thing and support black people who she's standing on the shoulders of. Do the right thing and pass the black agenda, blackagenda2024.com.
Right on.
Right on.
Dr. West, what do you think about the lack of a Palestinian American speaker?
You want to say something, brother?
Right. They want to try to flip the subject, but listen, I stand with people who stand with us. You know what I mean? Now I'm against oppression wherever it is, worldwide. You know what I mean? So I'm against any type of genocide. But I stand with people who stand with us. So, but if you against us and you join the hate Africa theme, then don't expect me to do shit for you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would say in regards to the whole. That's it. I ain't throwing no shade on nobody. You know what I'm saying? Only dealing with the facts right now. You know what I'm saying? Facts over fiction. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised as to why they took Mr. Cornell West off the ballot. You know what I'm saying? All these independent, just like that every time this go round happens, the independent candidates, they fizzle out. And then the ones that do remain, they may get like 1%. And the reason why they don't want them to be in the whole situation is because just like Malcolm said, he said that, the vote always comes down to our people. It comes down to any group of people that that can hold their block of voting. So meaning that if the vast majority of these people are going to vote, whether it be traditionally or in unison, however you want to look at it, but these people are going to all vote for the same people. So if they can keep that herd intact, right, then they can have an election in their favor. You know what I'm saying? So when you got independent candidates, those people take away votes, sometimes millions of votes, away from that equation that they need. When it comes down to the bottom line, it be coming down to like a handful of votes sometimes. So those people skew the numbers. So we can eliminate those independent people, right? Then we can deal with people who are forced to only vote for a Democrat and a Republican, right? So this is the scheme that's going on, right? So they say shit like this, now why Pennsylvania? Because Pennsylvania is a battleground state. You know what I'm saying? So whether you want to believe that is because people is racist or whatever, that you can factor that part of the equation in, but also it's about strategy, political strategy. You know what I mean? They're not letting this dude get votes in a battleground state. You can get votes in some other state that don't matter because the way that we got it set up, you ain't gonna win anyway. You know what I'm saying? So if you really want to waste our time, going along with your campaign, then you stay out of the battleground states, right? So it's about half and half, but all roads point back to evil, wicked, nefarious, clandestine agenda. You know what I mean? That's the facts. You know what I mean? What else we got here? Now, I wanted to talk about this right here. I ain't got no clips for this. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just run through this a little bit, just pointing out, a lot of the shit that we see in regards to relationships and bullshit that, I know it's a lot of relationship specialists out there and this really be y'all thing, but North they say, Northwest takes the stage with her dad, in South Korea, and Kim Kardashian, of course, she been mad and concerned about things that's may go on too close to their kids and shit like that. And it's funny because not funny like that, but it's ironic that she's fallen into that whole baby mama drama situation, right? So now, because y'all not together, now you concerned about who's around your kids and all that kind of shit, right? Which is not wrong per se, but it is kind of hypocritical. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, first of all, we see a lot of talk about, girl dads, daddy's little girl, that's a natural thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's natural for a daughter to want to be around her father. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, you know, um, bitter mothers, I'm trying to not say things incendiary, but people who are at a disagreement with their co-parent, or baby father or whatever. um they try to find things to try to score points for themselves, and then one of the ways they can do that, the easy way that they can do that, is by demonizing the father. You know what I mean? So when she sees the relationship between her children growing with their father, she's coming up with all of these reasons of why they shouldn't be around their father, right? But the thing is that this is this is inevitable, being as though that he's a superstar, right? And they don't really want to know what you're famous for. You know what I'm saying? She's famous for doing a porn video, right? And being promiscuous, right? So these things that you don't want for your daughter is on your resume, right? And you know, just how like she's concerned with how the woman dress, right? But you advocate and have advocated and helped to mold and create a lot of the problems that we deal with today in terms of multi-assured subjugation. You know what I'm saying? So, look at the pot calling the kettle black. It's like, all right, you wasn't concerned about your impact on on people's children when you was dressing, promiscuous and all that. Now that you got kids and you older now, right? And you trying to redefine your image, these things are now wrong, right? But when you was doing it, it's different. That's hypocritical and narcissistic. You know what I'm saying? So she really don't got no wins with this, and if she keep this up, she's gonna hurt the bond with her own children. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to stop these kids from idolizing their father. Their father is Kanye West. So if he tell his kids, "Hey, you want to go to a concert with me? You want to be on stage with me?" You think the kids ain't gonna want to do no shit like that? Come on, man. Shit. The society has molded the opinions of people to the point that we get all of our influence from actors and entertainers. He's an entertainer. What do you expect? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is the dumb shit. You know, you're gonna be complaining and doing all this, and then hopefully you can maintain a healthy relationship with your kids, because nobody wants to be sadistic, to be like, aha, y'all going through drama. Some people is like that, but I hope that y'all can figure out y'all situation. You know what I'm saying? But this is part of the reason why this dude should have stayed on the other side. You know what I mean? Because all of the shit that he's been saying about the tactics that she's been using to try to separate him from his kids. So the more that y'all connect and the more that y'all get in the spotlight, and she got to look at these articles and shit like that, she gonna be coming up with some bullshit, yo. She gonna be coming up with more bullshit to try to fuck up the relationship between her children and her children and their father. Crazy. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to all the relationship specialists out there, because this is y'all kind of thing. And I'm pretty sure y'all got some extensive, detailed arguments about these things of matters of no real importance. But let's go on. So, all right. So, I'm pretty sure everybody in Philly and social media world is familiar with this situation right here. Now, I seen two videos that until today I was not quite sure about. Now, I'm gonna just speak on this, and until I determine which is which, then that's when I present the video. So, this dude right here, you know, this is what's his name? YBC Dull. So, they say that this dude was a part of a street gang, and they into the whole drill music era type shit. And they're doing this is Mr. Disrespectful, and they doing all of this crazy shit to people. Let me stay right here real quick. So they doing all this crazy shit, digging up people's graves and all that. And like I said, probably on the next video I get to that video footage, because everybody's pretty much talking about this. But I seen two video clips that I'm kind of skeptical of playing, some for graphic imagery and also for validity. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to play a video that was associated with somebody else. So, that's just me being honest. So, I was told that one video was associated with this brother right here, but upon further investigation, I'm coming to a conclusion that these are two separate incidences that we've seen. A lot of people seen the video of the brother getting shot on the bike, and I've I've seen some information or some video clips that would suggest that those two events are not the same. But both they did both happen in Philadelphia. And I could be wrong about that, but we're gonna get to that on another note. But what I do want to say about this situation with this young brother, is they don't call it drill music for a reason. What is a drill? A drill is like training. You know what I'm saying? It's like a training drill. So this like drill music is training music. So I've been saying for years that a lot of a lot of young brothers in Philadelphia have like adopted the identity and the behaviors and principles of a lot of brothers from Chicago. You know what I'm saying, with the whole gang shit and a lot of the ops and all that kind of shit. They glorified drill music. That's like really coming out of that area, and that that with social media and all that shit has kind of like grafted the whole hood, like every hood, where it's like before that kind of expansion, hoods had their own principles, own lingo, own style of dress, and own politics. But with the social media shit, you see a lot of it blended in to the point where everybody is like talking the same, acting the same, doing the same shit, and you seeing like now when you see like gang activity, one of the things that like Philadelphia used to have gang activity back in the day, but the Nawabi Nation of Islam, they literally prevented gang behavior from metastasizing in Philadelphia like that. So this resurgence of gang activity is coming directly from the drill music type lifestyle in Chicago, to the point that they're emulating each other, right? And it's sad because you have like the young boy, young boy NBA, him having a coming to Jesus moment and saying, damn, like I'm responsible for a lot of fucked up shit out here, niggas like Pooh Shiesty and all of these other dudes, and again, not throwing no shade at nobody, but we just dealing with the facts, the ramifications of these actions. They promoted this type of, now unbeknownst to them, they just live in a product of environment type lifestyle, and again, no shade thrown, because a lot of these people didn't create these situations. They grew up in them, so the governments and the people who are responsible, just like the coaches and administrative staff that get fired, people who are supposed to be accountable for these things, they take responsibility for these neighborhoods. Those people are responsible for these things, especially when they want to get reelected and all that shit. You need to take responsibility for what you've created and allowed to metastasize in your neighborhoods, in your cities. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these brothers are doing only what they know best for them. And that shouldn't be a thing. They should have better opportunities. There's too many brothers out here that think that the only way for them to make money is to either rap or sell drugs or do some criminal activity or play sports. And that has been going on for generations. So at this point, who's responsible for that? Especially when you got people who stand up and want to be leaders. Leaders take responsibility for what happens on their watch, period. And it's too much passing the bucket out here when we want to talk about, savage killings and savage kids and savage young boys and shit. So whoever's in charge of that district, whoever's in charge of that city, whoever stands up and say they the leader or the mayor or whatever type of leadership role, you are responsible. You know what I'm saying? You should be held accountable, because you need to go and be the leader that you said that you are, and go out there and try to fix that shit. You know what I'm saying? Come out here and help us try to fix this, because the people out here who don't have the power to make a change are the only people out here trying to make a change. So because of that, you have situations like this. You got these dudes digging up people's graves and all kind of disrespectful stuff like that. And it's like, man, like, people already hypersensitive. Social media is basically a digital instigator at this point, because people do things to put on social media to scrutinize people, to make a mockery of people, and the end result is that somebody's going to get hurt. So just like when they talk about rap beef and they say let's keep it on wax. Y'all glorifying, people smoking people's dead homies and shit like that. What happened to keep it on wax? Yeah, how can you tell people to keep it on wax, but at the same time, we only validate rappers for how much criminal activity that they've done, but not even their lyrical skill or their lyrical prowess for that regard? It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Rap is an art form. It's not a reflection of street activity. Why should you have to have bodies or sold drugs to be a good rapper? You know what I'm saying? But these recording industries sign these kind of people, and they promote this kind of lifestyle, and then they step back and act like they ain't got nothing to do with it. The record industry, the record industry, all these people who make money off of this shit, these people who come in the neighborhood and want to interview people and shit like that, all them people are held responsible. They should be held responsible. You know what I'm saying? Stop glorifying this type of shit. Everybody is romanticizing death and violence in our neighborhoods and eating popcorn and just watching the shit, like watching us kill each other. And y'all, if it happened in your neighborhood, I bet you'd be trying to stop it. You know what I'm saying? So, it's ridiculous, man. But again, I'm gonna touch back on this on another note. Let's go through this slide right here. So, in regards to the whole drill lifestyle, right? The crime riddled lifestyle that the social medias and everybody who support the Democratic Party, promotes, right? They promote the degenerate lifestyle. And what do you see right here? Democratic delegate robbed at gunpoint by men in ski masks during convention outside Chicago. The Chicago convention. So whether this is real or not, the simple fact is that we know this is a problem that y'all created. Y'all allowed criminal activity to go on, right? You create an environment where criminal activity and degenerate activity metastasizes. You don't do anything to actually help the people who are victims of that environment, right? Reality is this. Newsflash: victims can be violent. You know what I'm saying? Victims can be violent. Victims can be dangerous. If you see an animal stuck in a trap, right? Pun intended. And you go to try to help that animal out of the trap, right? And it bites you, right? Or attempts to bite you or scratch or just attempts to scratch you. This is a defense mechanism because it doesn't know if you're trying to eat it or not. But sometimes, even an animal will understand the good intentions of somebody who is genuinely trying to help, and it will allow you to help them get out of that trap, even though they are a dangerous animal, right? And just like how y'all try to refer to people as animals, right? And if a person gets shot, a black person gets shot, you want to call it in as a dead animal on the street, right? Well, maybe if you approach people with good intention and actually try to help them, then maybe they won't try to bite you. Maybe they won't try to hurt you. But if you're going to try to exploit people and come in their hood and come in their neighborhood and try to make a mockery of their hood and shit, maybe they just might bite you. Maybe the wolves might get you. You know what I'm saying? So again, I don't know if this is a real situation, right? It's just a news article. Somebody will say, I seen it. Well, I can't confirm or deny this, right? That's the best I can give you. But if it did happen, y'all responsible for it. You know what I'm saying? That's my point. You're responsible for it. That's what's crazy about this. Y'all create an environment and then you're victims of it. So don't complain to me about it. You created that environment. You know what I'm saying? So all right, what we got here? I think I'm about to, where we at? We at the 2:30. I'm about to wrap this up in a little bit. You know what I mean? Let me see what else we got here. I gotta do a whole nother video because I got so much other stuff to go in on. That shit, we'd be here all day. I got to do. You know what I mean? So all right, let me see what else I can play real quick before we wrap this up. Oh yeah, I want to tie back into some things that that we talked about and pointed out in previous videos, right? So this is a follow-up, to what we talked about, like I think last video or 2 videos ago.
Lives better. Look, because cutting our health care, taking away our freedom to control our bodies, the freedom to become a mother through IVF like I did.
So what's wrong with your culo? You know what I'm saying? Why am I thinking of Scarface right now? What's wrong with your culo? I ain't throwing no. You know what? I ain't throwing no insult today. But I'm asking the question. I'm asking a valid question though. What's wrong with your culo? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it a coincidence? Is that just a coincidence that this person is being accused of being not like us in a natural sense? So if that's the case, if that's no, well, what I'm gonna say is this: if that's not true, if that's BS, if that's just conspiracy buff nonsense, right? Then is it just a coincidence that you needed some external help? I would say to have a child. Inquiring minds want to know. I think that would be something. I guess if you were aware of these accusations, that you probably would want to keep to yourself. And you got to be aware. At this point, you got to be aware of that shit. This person, I'm going to choose my words carefully. This person should be aware of this by now. They should be aware of these accusations of originality, right? Let's just leave it there. You know what I mean? So that's just, to me, I would think that in this moment, this person forgot about that and they got too comfortable and just said something that, people who pay attention to detail would probably pick apart. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So, just consider that something to think about. Very, very, very coincidental. Cooperative incidents cohesively coexist or connect with each other. You know what I mean? you know, they connect. Wow. I don't know. Very, very crafty. You know what I mean? What is this here? I don't even know what that is. That's something. That must be something that somebody just sent me. Yeah, Wanda C. I don't know what that is. Okay. I think I know what that is though. I'm just going over some clips, all these extra clips that I got in my phone. Yeah, I'm not playing that video. I want to play another Cornell Wallace clip. You know what I mean?
President Obama does not
Look at his face.
run this
So Jesse Jackson's
country.
face?
President Obama has been chosen to govern white affairs. And if in that process we get something, it won't be because the governing powers want it. It will be because we organized and forced a government to speak to our needs.
All right.
Now, look. Thank you for the question. I want it clearly said in love that I love my brother. I voted for him. At 5 o'clock in the morning, I was out there with my wife voting for our brother.
It's 5 o'clock now. That's crazy.
I, like you, am very proud that a black man sits in the White House.
But we need to have black think tanks. We need to have our own political party. When we delegate our responsibility to somebody else, they can control us and they can provide something for us that could actually hurt us. You know what I'm saying? You know, so you keep putting these people in front of yourself to fix yourself, then they're gonna fix you all right. But your idea of fix might not be their idea of fix. You know, that's the reality. You know what I mean? So we can't stress that enough. You know, we have to learn to do for self, work together, overcome the bullshit because there isn't anything else. There's literally nothing else. You know, because this all of this banana republic shit has not proven to be nothing good for us, nothing progressive or productive for us. So it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just like Kevin Hart, it's not that is nothing, nigga. It's nothing. You know what I mean? All right, so all right, what else we got here? Played that already. You know, I was gonna play this clip right here. You know, in regards to this, you know, what this is basically what in reference to what Jermaine Dupri was talking about. You know what I mean? So I guess, you know, I can play this. I wanted to see what else I got here. What is this? I don't know what that is either. Oh, that's the funny shit. Okay. Oh man. Oh man. Man, these niggas is tap dancing at the White House. You know what I'm saying? Look at this shit right here, man. They got black people on some Mr. Bojangles type time tap dancing at the White House. This is what they think of. Performers. I'm gonna put that on mute. I don't know about no copyright shit. But this is ridiculous, yo. This is the agenda that they have for black people. To just be performers. You know, they got us out there on some Mr. Bojangles shit. Tap dancing for white people. Tap dancing to make white people feel comfortable with us. Because just like the great brother Malcolm X said, is that these people is not worried. They not worried about no tap dancing Negroes. You know what I'm saying? You know, they cool with us doing shit like this. You know, but when we start talking about how to improve our situation, oh, they take you off the ballot. They don't want to hear what you're talking about. So it makes sense that they would have somebody cosplaying us because they know that person don't have no real connection with us and no loyalty to us, right? You know, so anytime that they get people who are really a part of us, right, they get them to do shit like this, you know, tap dance, you know, do the Dougie at the White House, you know. I ain't had that video, but I got this video, you know, and of course they on some eyes wide shut type shit, you know, doing this. It's a reason why. It's a reason why these people love the Nutcracker. You know what I'm saying? And rest assured that this upcoming holiday raccoon season, you know, they're gonna be on the same shit. You know what I'm saying? But you know, they don't put us in position to take control of our own situations, right? They claim that they care about us. They claim that they love us. They claim they're not racist, right? But you know, denounce your whiteness if you're not racist. Let's start there, right? You know, and this kind of shit got to stop, right? You know, this is that soldier story, yes, a boss type shit. You know what I mean? You know, but it's like they cool with you doing that. But you know, now in reference to that, I'm gonna play this clip from the good brother Umar right here. You know what I'm saying? And just think, and just give you something to think.
Can you name a single black economy run by black people on the planet Earth? I'm gonna ask you one more time. Can you name a single country, Africa, Central or South America, anywhere in the Caribbean where we are in control of our own economics? Anybody? There's not one. There's not one. There is no black economy on earth ran by black people. And there is no liberation for African people until we get control of our economics. Black people in America, we're a $2 trillion economy. We're the richest group of Africans in the world in terms of income. The richest. But can I ask you a question? Do we own anything?
Nope.
Where is our infrastructure? Where are our institutions? We keep talking about Black Wall Street, Black Wall Street, but no city in America do I find African people owning their own hospital, their own bank, their own supermarket, and their own school. Those are the 4 essential institutions. Independent black hospital, independent black bank. You need a hospital to save the people, a bank to invest in the people, supermarket to feed the people, and a school to teach the people. Why we ain't got that? There's a Chinatown in damn near every major city. You got little Vietnam, little Cambodia, little Italy. Where's little Africa?
Right.
You know why we ain't got it? Because something slavery did to the black man and woman. I don't care if your ancestors was enslaved in Cuba. I don't care if your ancestors was enslaved in Brazil, enslaved in North Philadelphia. Slavery stole from African people the desire. And I want you young people to hear me, because you are the generation that is supposed to fix this. Slavery stole from African people the natural, God-given desire to control your own destiny.
Right.
Do you realize we're the only people not concerned about controlling our own community? We're the only people not concerned about controlling our own destiny. As soon as the Chinese show up on the shores of America, soon as an Arab shows up on the shores of America, soon as an East Indian shows up on the shores of America, they build in their own communities. They're looking for a piece of a city to call their own shops, their own businesses, their own import, export, and all we want to do is look good. Half y'all in here, soon as you get your student loan check, you in New York City shopping because you want to look good.
Right.
Tell me I'm wrong. I don't care if you're from Belize or the Bronx. You want to look good. Looking good is more important than having power. African people, we in pursuit of money. White people in pursuit of power. Father Rothschild said, what? Give me control over people's money. I care not who makes the laws. Give me control over people's money. I care not who makes the laws. We chasing money. Money don't make a difference. Look at all the black entertainers we got. Look at all the athletes and entertainers we got. All that money. And don't use none of it for the benefit of African people. Right. They might give out some turkeys for Thanksgiving. Who the hell need another turkey? You worth $500 million, and the best you can do for the black community is some stale-ass turkeys. Some sneakers. Another playground dedication.
Right.
That ain't what we need. We need institutions and industries, brothers and sisters.
Right. That's the shit that they don't want to talk about. These are the facts that your old news skips. They want you dependent on them. They don't want you to want nothing for yourself. Right. And when people start talking about do for the self, they take their name off the ballot. You can't vote for this person. You can't vote for somebody who's even asking for something. You know what I'm saying? But people can come in and challenge your blackness for not voting Democratic. You know what I'm saying? So, in regards to that, I have to play this clip by Larry Elder. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're not familiar with this clip, Larry Elder went on why am I forgetting the name of this show? The Breakfast Club, with Charlemagne the God. You know what I'm saying? And he's a conservative political commentator, like one of the people who talk about, things or decipher what the president said or that person said, to people. You know what I'm saying? So he's from California, right? I'm guessing he went to law school or something. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know too much about dude, but he he seems to, he's like, usually they hire people who, you know, went to law school, you know, had some type of knowledge of law and, you know, the political, you know, layout, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, he's not just a random person, you know what I'm saying? So obviously if he was on the Breakfast Club. So I'm gonna just play the clip if y'all not familiar with the shit, you know what I mean?
I know you probably got to go, Mandela, but have you ever heard of the term nigga wake up call?
No.
It is an incident where a person of color forgets that they are of color and are reminded rather brutally by an unexpected act of racism. Have you ever had any of those?
Brother.
I'm just asking. You think you've ever
Well,
had
I'm acutely aware, Charlemagne, that I'm a black person, just as you are a black person. And when Joe Biden insulted you by saying, you ain't really black, we don't know whether or not you want to vote for me or vote for Donald Trump, it seems to me that should have been a wake-up call on your part. How dares this guy come in here and insult you, a black man, and tell you you got to think a certain kind of way? I'm amazed that you weren't mad about that.
I'm not gonna say it upset me, just like I'm not letting you upset me. You know what I mean? I don't tend to get upset over things like that. But what I did say,
well, you just not talk about
it.
a nigga wake-up call, and it seemed to me that should have been a wake-up call on your part to have a white guy come in here who also said, by the way, about Mitt Romney, because he didn't want to put more regulations on Wall Street, going to put y'all back in chains. And Joe Biden has lied for decades about his civil rights record, claiming that he desegregated movie theaters and restaurants in Wilmington, Delaware, when he didn't do any of that. He lied and said that he tried to visit Nelson Mandela during apartheid South Africa. He did not. And he came in here and told you aren't even black and let you think a certain kind of way. It seems to me that should have been a nigga wake-up call for you, but it wasn't, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, no, for the record, I'm not a Democrat artist.
I didn't say you were.
Yeah, I think both.
I don't know what you are. I never even asked you about your party affiliation.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, but you are black. And to have a white guy come in here and tell you have to say, think a certain kind of way, otherwise you, quote, ain't black. Wow.
How should I have replied to him, you think?
What I just now said, how dare you insult me and tell me I think as a human being, let alone as a black person? I don't tell you how to think, Joe Biden. How dare you come in here and tell me how I should think?
Oh, we got some technical difficulties. Struggle streaming, you know what I mean? But you know, we need to change his name to Charlemagne, you know what I mean? Because he got cooked and charred, you know, real quick. You know what I mean? So he went on to say some more shit about Joe Biden. I'm gonna see if I can get this clip to work again, you know, without having to reinstitute it, right? I actually just got a phone call which fucked it up, you know what I mean? So let me see if I can try to play it again. Yeah, somebody called my phone and fucked it up. So all right, well look, let me play this clip. I'm gonna play this clip right here before I get back to that clip. Maybe that'll make it better. Maybe if I play
was the
something
Attorney
else.
General for 8 years in the state of California. There were two of the most segregated school districts in the country, in Los Angeles and in San Francisco. And she did not, like, I didn't see a single solitary time she brought a case against them to desegregate them. Secondly, she also was in a situation where she had a police department when she was there that, in fact, was abusing people's rights. And the fact was that she, in fact, was told by her own people, that her own staff, that she should do something about and disclose to defense attorneys like me that you, in fact, have been, the police officer did something that did not give you information, would exculpate your client. She didn't do that. She never did it. And so.
Damn. Damn. This John fucked up like a motherfucker. I think that might be our cue. All right, let's try this other clip again. Maybe we used up all the bandwidth, you know, because it's more bedlam than bandwidth now. You know what I mean? All right, these Jones is both fucked up, man. I don't know what happened, but somehow my signal or something got fucked up. I think that phone call really fucked shit up. So let me reload this real quick. Come back in. Maybe that'll work. You know, we got a trial and error, troubleshoot. You know, StreamYard Live. You know what I mean?
And it was someone wearing a mask.
You can't tell me this is normal. Look at his forehead. This is bullshit. That's a mask. That's a skin mask. It ain't normal. Look at it.
North Carolina. And he was a very conservative guy who was very, very...
Oh my gosh, that's a mask.
African American.
Holy cow.
He always had fight.
Okay, so it's working. Okay, so we got it working. So all right, so let's go back to that clip right there. Do what you want with that. You know what I mean? But
I know you probably got to go. But have you ever heard of the term "nigga wake up call"?
No.
It is an incident where a person of color forgets that they are of color and are reminded rather brutally by an unexpected act of racism. Have you ever had any of those?
Oh, brother.
I'm just asking. You think you've ever?
Well,
had
I'm acutely aware, Charlemagne, that I'm a black person, just as you are a black person. And when Joe Biden insulted you by saying, you ain't really black, we don't know whether or not you want to vote for me or vote for Donald Trump, it seems to me that should have been a wake-up call on your part. How dare this guy come in here and insult you, a black man, and tell you you got to think a certain kind of way? I'm amazed that you weren't mad about that.
I'm not gonna say it upset me, just like I'm not letting you upset me. You know what I mean? I don't tend to get upset over things like that. But what I did say,
well, you just not talk about a nigger wake-up call, and it seemed to me that should have been a wake-up call on your part to have a white guy come in here who also said, by the way, about Mitt Romney, because he didn't want to put more regulations on Wall Street, going to put y'all back in chains. And Joe Biden has lied for decades about his civil rights record, claiming that he desegregated movie theaters and restaurants in Wilmington, Delaware, when he didn't do any of that. He lied and said that he tried to visit Nelson Mandela during apartheid South Africa. He did not. And he came in here and told you aren't even black and let you think a certain kind of way. It seems to me that should have been a nigga wake-up call for you, but it wasn't, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, no, for the record, I'm not a Democrat or Republican.
I didn't say you were.
Yeah, I think both.
I don't know what you are. I never even asked you about your party affiliation.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, but you are black. And to have a white guy come in here and tell you have to say think a certain kind of way, otherwise you, quote, ain't black. Wow.
How should I have replied to him, you think?
What I just now said, how dare you insult me and tell me I think as a human being, let alone as a black person? I don't tell you how to think, Joe Biden. How dare you come in here and tell me how I should think? I'm going to vote for Donald Trump if I want to vote for Donald Trump. And if I want to vote for Donald Trump, it does not make me not black. 20% of black people, black men, as I said, voted for Donald Trump in 2020. Are they not black now? So only 80% of black people, black men walking around are really black, 20% are not because they voted for Donald Trump. How insulting is that? How condescending is that?
I mean, you're probably right, but I didn't take it in that way.
Well, I did.
As I said to him in that moment, it's just about me wanting something for my people. And I want to know, what is he going to do for my people? And not only for my people now, how are you going to atone for the things you've done to my people?
Right.
That's it.
Right. And this is a guy, Joe Biden, who, when he first got into the Senate, hung out with segregationists, talked about how well he got along with them, talked about how he didn't want integration because of a jungle. This guy has made all sorts of insulting things to black people, and his policies right now are hurting black people. Inflation hurts the people at the bottom more than anything else. Letting a bunch of illegal aliens into the border are hurting black people more than anybody else, as I said earlier. He opposes school choice when he has his own kids in private school. And we lost a year, almost 2 years of in-school education in California because of COVID that he supported. I mean, this guy has done monstrous things to black people. And then for him to come in here and tell you how you ought to think as a black person, it blew my mind.
Where was the lie at? You know what I'm saying? Where was the lie at, man? That was the realest shit ever. Shut Charlemagne down, because he got cooked and charred right there, But one thing is that we see that's almost in uniform with a lot of people, that's Democratic or at least align themselves with Democrats, right? Because they might not necessarily be a Democrat, because a lot of people aren't even registered to vote. It's disingenuous to make it seem like, on both their behalves, honestly, to make it seem like that everybody votes. So when they say 20% of men voted Democrat, how many percentage of the men who didn't vote at all? We need to look at that. How many percentage of black men that don't even believe in politics whatsoever, right? There's a percentage out there of men that operate like that, So when they say 80 to 20, no, there's a percentage that you need to factor in, and those are the facts. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times when you talk to people who either are Democrats or align themselves with a democratic mindset, you know, when you say things about Democrats, they automatically assume that you are Republican, or you know, in this case, you know, he'll deflect and say, "Well, I'm not a Democrat," but you cape for Democrats, you work with Democrats, right? You know what I'm saying? You basically stand with them. So you might not be registered to vote, you might not be an active voter, but you know what I mean? You do things that would benefit Democrat politicians, you know? And in this case, you let Joe Biden come on your platform and tell black people, not just him, but all black people, that they ain't black unless they vote for him. When this dude is one of the most racist politicians in America, you know what I'm saying? Of all times, he's up there in the top, probably in the top 20 or top 10 or something, of most racist politicians. You know, and it's crazy because Democrats, they fought to keep slavery. You know what I'm saying? They fought to keep it. You know, it's crazy. They tried to block them. They tried to block civil rights. You know, they took the country to war over slavery. You know what I'm saying? And again, the Republican Party was created because they didn't want to go along with slavery no more. You know what I'm saying? So, those are the facts, but they don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with that. They want to have black people just mindlessly, not doing for self and just going along with whatever people is telling them. You know what I'm saying? This shit is crazy. So let me play this other clip that I was trying to play that got fucked up. So let's get through that one.
Harris was the Attorney General for 8 years in the state of California. There were two of the most segregated school districts in the country, in Los Angeles and in San Francisco. And she did not, I didn't see a single solitary time she brought a case against them to desegregate them. Secondly, she also was in a situation where she had a police department when she was there that in fact was abusing people's rights. And the fact was that she, in fact, was told by her own people, that her own staff, that she should do something about and disclose to defense attorneys like me that you, in fact, have been, the police officer did something that did not give you information would exculpate your client. She didn't do that. She never did it. And so what happened? Along came a federal judge and said, enough, and he freed 1,000 of these people. If you doubt me, Google 1,000 prisoners freed, Kamala Harris.
Thank you, Vice President Biden.
So that's a homework assignment for tonight, right? And see that's one thing that everybody should practice, is that when you see these candidates, go back and watch the debates and see the things that people said about them, because of course we know politicians lie, right? But when they debating, they really have teams of people who go out and gather different career stopping information about these people, because again, this is about trying to win. You know what I'm saying? So, that's something to consider. You know what I mean? But black people are being gaslighted to delegate their responsibilities and their active capabilities of doing for self to somebody else, and thinking that they're going to do something for us. You know what I'm saying? And that's the main problem here. You know what I mean? Like, all right, like even with Trump, a lot of black people was cool with Trump, before he turned Republican. You know what I'm saying? Steve Harvey up there.
Some of you niggas ain't real.
All these dudes.
Some of you niggas ain't
Little John. They just had to, these dudes is crazy, man. They're crazy, but these people so much into politics that they jump back and forth on in the lap of white supremacy, no matter what the party is, right? But that brings up a real question, that's like an elephant in the room for black people. So I'm gonna play this clip, and then I'm gonna play one more clip, and we're gonna wrap it up. So and I got some more shit on the flip side. You know what I mean?
President Obama.
Oh yeah, we played this already. Oh, my fault. No, that ain't that. That's the wrong clip. Yeah. All right. So all right. See, I'm a little restless, you know. So all right, here we go right here. So now two more clips. So while motherfuckers is arguing about, you know, who they gonna vote for and who gonna fix their problems and all that shit, you know, let's look at what software engineers are talking about. You know what I'm saying?
What would you like to see as your legacy in 10, 15 years?
I've set very ambitious goals because I'm quite optimistic. If you look at, say, the 20 diseases that are global health, within 15 years, over half of those, we could have had a very dramatic impact. Some of them will prove to be harder than others. For example, AIDS. We will have made an improvement, but not the dramatic improvement probably in that time frame. Malaria, perhaps, and a number of the other ones, we have things in the pipeline. So, you know, huge change in the mortality rates in developing countries, which then has this effect of reducing population growth. That's the
He said, "Was that what now?" So these motherfuckers is talking about reducing population growth while we arguing about somebody else doing something for us, you know. So at this point, we should all know what that question is. That's at this point is an elephant in the room. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that I was in I passed. I went to heaven, you know, and I was with a Mexican guy and a white guy. And I said, man, I want to go to heaven. He said, God, right down the road. He said, but your name ain't on the list, Bernie. You know your name ain't on the goddamn list. If you can go down there and you ask the Lord a question and he can't answer it, you might get into heaven. Well, me, the white guy, the Puerto Rican, we walked their ass on down there, and sure enough, God was on the gate. And the white guy said, I'm going to go first. Went over to the Lord, he whispered in the Lord's ear. He said, who discovered America? And the Lord laughed. Christopher Columbus. He said, God, I'm sorry, go on down the hill. The Puerto Rican said, I got it. Hey, pasa! Said, who's saying how many was in the Beatles? I said, don't get the heck on out here, man. Oh, man. Go on. So he looked at me. I looked at him. He looked at me. I looked at him. And I whispered something to the Lord. And he looked at me. And he looked up. He looked down. He said, open the gate! I walked on in. The white guy said, hey, Father, what did the black guy ask you? He asked me, when was black people ever going to stick together?
Listen, man, if you come across vital information, it's your obligation to share it with the nation. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're just going to leave it there for the time being. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's better to know something than to believe it. Truth is undefeated. You know, so with that said, Ashe, peace and benedictions. You know, we out. You know what I'm saying? You know, share if you care, share if you don't care. Because somebody care for the both of us. You know, as my man Pope said. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, do your due diligence. You know what I'm saying? But let's work together. You know what I mean? We out.
I am the best in the world at what I
have the balls
do.
to say things that nobody else has the balls. This is power. Nobody can touch me. This voice, this is power.
There is nobody that eats, sleeps, or breathes this business more than me.
You're not as good as I am.
I'm the best.
You're not as good as me. I never had to call myself the best in the world. Other people said it for me.
In anybody else's hands, this is a microphone. In my hands, it's a pipe bomb.
I am part of a special breed. I am one of a literal dying breed.
Everything I have I fought for and
Didn't
I've
care
earned.
what the hierarchy thought of us.
I wouldn't have 5 years of pent-up ammunition to unload on him. I wouldn't have so much to say.
And yeah, I got a bad attitude and a bad reputation.
I tend to piss a lot of people off.
But I didn't give a damn. And yeah, I developed a chip on my shoulder because I knew I was the best. I am the best in the world at what I do.
Do I have everybody's attention now?